Yo, what's up, pups? How's everybody doing? What is going on? What's up, Super Snake? What's up, Salty Dog? Cal Agua? Christopher Gleason? Smash the like if you're coming in. Just smash it on the way in. You're going to like the show. All right. I'm telling you. Just do it. You gave the first like. What's up, Claudia? Christopher Gleason. Long time no see, buddy. OG Josh Graves. What's up? Data Dev. How you doing? Cash 5555. Pavel. Nice to see you. A lot of fun with forked coins. Yeah, that was a genius idea. Brilliant. Ruskino. Do you happen to have any spare hopium? I do actually. I got a little bit of hopium laying around. You want me to bring it? Yeah. I got opium. Opium. Yeah. Red Ray. What's going on? What's up, Bullman Post? How are you? What's up, Inc. 4T? Right. Yo, Crypto 7. Sorry, man. I had a other thing planned, but I hope the show's going good. Let's check in on that show, actually. I think Crypto 7's doing some special show tonight. What's up, Bit Finesse? Oh, what's up, man? And Love Matters, Mike Lack, Christopher Gleason. Yep. All looks like a bear trap to me. Yeah, maybe. Smash the like button, everybody. It's a Friday. Kicking it off the right way. It's about -5, -6 right now where I am. What's the temperature? -4. -4, and it feels like... What's it feels like? It never feels like usually. It feels like -7. Yeah, I'll take that. Whatever. It's what it is. President Don Miguel Trumpudo is now president of Venezuela. That's kind of cool. That's so fucking loud. Yeah. Mr. Trump. This is kind of funny. I don't know where this came from. I might do a whole special on this liberal, what they're calling the liberal white woman movement or something. I don't know what's going on with this. It's pretty out there. I'm from LA. I actually knew a lot of women like this. And when I was there 10 years ago, it was pretty bad. It was bad. And it was really bad, man. It was crazy. I had a lot of neighbors that were about this age. They'd always have like their Tinder dates come over, and then you'd hear them like howling in the middle of the night, and they're alone all week and bitter, and then next weekend more dates. But like this fucking scene is hilarious, and it's probably true.
Not had a wash for a day or two. I sometimes slide my finger up and down my arse crack.
We've all done this.
That I smell delightful. I do that. And I always wonder if other adult people's bums smell the same or if they smell shitty.
I'm going to do it now.
Not any kind of bum. It has to be a very peachy and chunky and something I can potentially
clean
peg.
ass.
What, does yours smell clean?
Yeah,
I don't know
clean.
if I want to do it. Shall I do it? Are we all having a bum sniff on the
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't.
We've all done a scratch and sniff.
Have you ridden this morning, though, Lee?
Yeah, 3 horses.
Oh, your
God.
arse crack's going to stink.
Hold on.
So pants on or pants off, guys? Should we do a bum sniff? Should we do a bum sliff live on stream? They're doing it right now.
Oh, it's a bit
Yeah, it's a busy day. It's at this point, I've never thought I'd say I'll be glad she's in Dubai right now, but I am right now, so I haven't got that
But
in my face.
What is it about like your own smells that you like? Like I could smell that, and I would say it doesn't smell shitty. It just smells like a sweaty bum.
Well, it's like we like our own
if
fart
anyone
smells.
else smelt it, they'd be like, "Oh, that's gross."
Right.
Whereas I now, for the rest of this pod, will be just casually sort of having a little finger sniff and
Come on,
enjoying
finger
it.
sniff.
No, they're not future mothers, man. They are not. That was real. I'm gonna do a whole special on this actually. Women are pretty freaky. It's cool, man. You're eating right now. All right, let's cut to some AI. This has been my gym on New Year's, man. Everybody's training now. Actually, that's kind of how I train. All right, that was a clean reset. AI's getting really good. This one's the best one, though. I'm probably going to get flagged for this music, but it's worth it. Let's go to the beginning. I love the hair check. This is President Maduro, by the way, who I think is in, I don't know where he's with custody right now somewhere. I just tried. First words are finger sniffing. Yeah, we did a butt sniffing session, Shishio. Super Snake is aroused. Sounds like Diddy in the background. He looks like a Romanian gangster. Apparently, they're saying that Nike sold out of this fleece, which is really fucking hilarious because it's actually a terrible look. It's not a good look. But I don't know, ladies. What do you think? Are ladies out there? Is this a good look? I've never done this look before. I like my gym look, but it's nothing like this at all. I wear like kind of like baggy pants, not baggy pants, just like wide leg. I don't wear skinny pants to the gym, and then I just wear a tank top. And the jacket, I have like I do have a Nike zip, but it's like kind of like a very 80s, 90 looking zip. It's not like, I don't know, these tracksuits never looked right to me. They never looked good. All the Romanian guys do this look though. I guess it's a very international, everyone's, wow, what the fuck is going on with these? Jeez. But yeah, there it is, the tech fleece. Took a deal. He took a deal. Oh, took a deal. What, with Nike? Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's going to do well, man. He's got a whole nation to sell, so they're going to buy him out. You know, these people print the money. They buy everybody. They're buying Greenlanders out. They're giving each Greenlander $100,000. They print the money. like whatever, man. It's like, you know, doing business with the cartels. They're like, look, here's 10 kilos. Like, what am I going to, how am I going to unload? They're like, here's 10 more. They grow the shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. It's nothing for them. Oh, man. Streams are different now because I'm not like sober, but I'm just drinking like some watered down soda over here. No more alcohol. It's different. Everything hits differently now. How's everybody doing out there? Smash the like button. Everyone's fallen off the world, by the way, because, you know, everyone thinks it's a bear market. Everybody's gone. Check this out. This is, I used to watch, like, Japanese B films, and, like, they're doing some crazy stuff. And I think this is made by a director I know, because it looks familiar, but let's check it out. This is Japan. It says Japan. This is from Cabredas. What's up, man? He says Japan is a millennium ahead of the rest of the world. Arigato gozaimasu. What up, Saint? Missed you the other day. My notification must have gotten messed up. No, it's good, man. Did I stream? Oh, yeah, I did stream a couple days ago. We covered some stuff, and I think Fast. Oh, yeah, a few people did show up on that stream. Fast and Taurus and Larry also came. It was a good stream, actually. It was my first one back. tonight is like my first one back because I actually did news and everything. A couple days ago, I just went right to charts. And then today I did like a news one. I'm trying different stuff. I have a lot of things I want to talk about. I'm trying to figure out how to do it because I can't make these 4 hours, 5 hour streams all the time, right? It's a lot of like, so I'm just going to like do my big stories in special segments. Like today I did a little bit on the WEF. It wasn't that interesting in the sense like it was about the WEF, but I got a lot of other interesting things I want to cover. So what I thought would be interesting for me too would be like, charts are very dry, and then I also have to spend a lot of time myself sometimes going through them. And so I was like, I'll just do like the stuff that like is fun and mix that with the charts and then do my serious news stuff separately. All right, this one's about a timeline shift. I could definitely do a long one on this, but a lot of people are feeling this since the zombie apocalypse. So we'll hear this. You guys let me know if you guys relate to this. I mean, she might be coming at it pretty hard. She looks like she's about to turn into a zombie. I don't even know if this is real. Somebody go to her TikTok, Jenny Withany. She looks like she's about to turn into a zombie, but I feel like a lot of people are expressing this to me.
Well, hello. So I've decided that I am not from this timeline. This is not where I started from. I might exist here, but this is not where I began. I am fucking done. I am from the timeline where monocles existed in Monopoly, fucking cornucopias in Fruit of the Loom underpants. Fucking, I'm sorry, but Shazam was a fucking movie. And Sinbad played the fucking genie. I seen that shit 5 fucking times that summer it came out at the Lincoln Heights Movie Theater in Spokane, Washington. It is fucking real. Fuck you people who are trying to get my brain on a different fucking wavelength. I don't know if it's CERN. I don't know what the fuck it is. Black holes. I don't fucking know. This is not where we're supposed to fucking be. This shit is whack. First of all, we're in a fucking time where people, anybody, even not a natural fucking citizen of this country can vote in a fucking state. And we have to fight to get them to not. Like, what the fuck? I am from this new current timeline where time goes so fucking fast. Like, y'all. There is no fucking way 2020 was almost 6 fucking years ago. Y'all, the sun does not even look the fucking same anymore. I am not one of those weird fucking conspiracy fucks. But this is some weird fucking shit. I can't. I am so fucking done. Like, I just want to go back to normal fucking times. I don't like this duplicate version. I don't like this secondary fucking universe. It's fucked. It's fucked. And something happened to the liberals, too. They got fucking weirder. It shifted them to the left even more. I don't want to be here anymore.
Wow. Are a lot of people experiencing this? Because I do think there was a timeline shift that happened. And it's by design. I do think that you guys are feeling it a lot more in the West, for sure. Like, we're still kind of, I know that everything's fucked up and different now, for sure. Like, things have changed, especially where I am as well. But, we're still enjoying life out here. And, we have, like, dates and stuff. I don't know what's, I'm not hearing good stuff from like the West though. So I know it's more extreme there. You guys do have stuff dumping in the sky. There's no doubt about that. The sun looks different. I remember being in California and being like, they are spraying stuff on us. Like, I'm not an insect. I'm out of here. They're spraying, right? Like, you guys have been in big cities. So there's something definitely going on with that. And the media is crazy. People are acting crazy. Maybe they got these 5G things ringing at weird frequencies, doing all kinds of things to us. Plus, a lot of people now have this graphene oxide in their veins or whatever it is, right? So who knows? There's definitely stuff. The food is crazy too, right? Apparently McDonald's is made of recycled people. It's Soylent Green. Hope you guys aren't eating McDonald's.
Whack! First of all,
she does look crazy though. Those are contacts, right? Those are not her eyes. She has jaundice or something. Those are contacts. All right. This is we got to move on. Okay, I do want to cover Russia, but this was fucking Russia like a week ago. 20 stories of snow. That is incredible. That is how fast the Earth gets buried, by the way, when we disappear. When humans are gone, the Earth recycles everything very quick. That's why the ancients built with stones that were like 100 tons. All right, because of this shit. Because they knew the Earth was, and nature was very powerful. The pyramids have been there, 20,000, 30,000 years? We don't know. Very long time. Certainly a lot longer than what they try to tell you, 4,000 or 5,000 years. That's complete bullshit. I mean, they may have been there 50,000 years or 100,000. Like, they've been there a long fucking time. And they've probably been buried in snow. They've said that Egypt was a tropical rainforest at one time with lakes and waters and rivers. And now it's desert. So, man, nature is powerful. You guys want to see some more clips of that? I want to show you guys. What do I got here for you guys? Oh, yeah. People are snapping. Are people snapping around you? Bit finesse. What recycled people is delicious at Mickey D's sweet and sour sauce? Yeah, it's true. Recycled people do go well with sweet and sour sauce from Mickey D's. All right, we need to get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into crypto. All right, this was an interview somebody sent me a couple weeks ago. I'd saved. I don't know if you guys saw this. What is this down here? This is a guy named Ty Martini guy, by the way. So Peplord had reposted one of his videos. He talks a little about Richard Hart here.
Today's crypto news segment. I found this clip again. Ivan on Tech, what a guy, calling out Richard Hart, who owns Hex, for being a leader. Just with the context here, Richard Hart told everyone to buy Hex because they'll get rich, and then he told them to donate all of the money that they'd made getting rich on Hex to PulseChain. And if you know anything about PulseChain, it's not gone very well.
I mean, I understand Richard because PulseChain tokenomics are so bad. Like, it's the worst tokenomics ever. It's the worst tokenomics. He needs a new thing. He needs a new thing without too many holders because he really messed up PulseChain tokenomics. It's the worst because people sacrificed a lot, so they want big return, obviously, and the market cap you need for that, so everyone has this big, like, it's impossible. And also, just a reminder, this is what he said, Richard said a few years ago on my channel. Listen to this. And then compare what he said to what he does now.
They got a bunch of volunteers making their shit.
Where's that echo coming from? Oh, it's in the guy's recording.
Worth more when they raised multiple billions of dollars. Like, why does a company that's raised billions of dollars need fucking volunteers for anything? What? Because they can. Because people are so stupid. They're like, yo, we'll trade you real money for fake money. And then
and you gave ETH for Pulse, and you're volunteering, pumping this stuff for years. Okay.
Of course, looking back in history, it's easy to see.
What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about what he said? That Richard Hart used to make fun of people that would trade their good assets and then be asked to volunteer and work and what have you, and now he's doing that. What do you guys think about that? Is that what is that what happened?
So stupid. They're like, yo, we'll trade you real money for fake money. And then
and you gave ETH for Pulse, and you're volunteering.
Maybe Hex being up at, what market cap did it actually reach? Hex being up at a $75 billion market cap, maybe it wasn't worth $75 billion, but the main problem comes from the fact that he made everyone sacrifice money for PulseChain. And it wasn't a small amount of money that people sacrificed for PulseChain. They sacrificed over $1 billion. Over $1 billion was sent in funding to PulseChain, which now sits everybody in a loss at a $299 million market cap. The price has done nothing but come down since it launched. And it is kind of sad because I know actually quite a lot of Hex guys, and they made a lot of money from Hex, and they did great off it. But
what do you guys think? Martini guy. Oh, it was a lot of money.
Then they all put the money into this, and now they've got nothing. So Richard, come on, get back to work, make another Ponzi scheme, and yeah, I think we covered basically just every single topic in crypto.
Wow. Crazy. Let's see. Now, one thing I want to say that I think we've got a bot. I do want to get to a couple of things and show you some cool charts. I do want to read this also. This is a guy named Goldchick who writes, at this point, I'm willing to admit that cryptocurrency is a failed experiment. I've ruined enough of my life trying to make a hopeless form of money work. Goodbye forever, cryptocurrency. I hate you. I'm buying gold and silver and turning this account into a food blog. Now, I'm guessing this is trolling. Let's check. Cyberpunk philosopher. Okay, so. Oh, is this real? Sometimes when I'm bored, I hop on to Bowden. I swear. What the fuck? It's the final shakeout for the breakout. 3 months behind on rent. This person's 3 months behind. I don't know if they're trolling at this point. Nothing more bearish in the meme coin trenches than a KOL tweeting that they're still holding. His tweets are hilarious. Let me see. Prediction, he says, this is from January 21st. This guy tweets like crazy. No one will be talking about Bitcoin in 60 months except to say they should have swapped it for ETH. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, ETH is undervalued. Let's see. What else does he say? He says, if I have to crash out on fucking Twitter for ETH to bottom, then I will. Wasted so much of my life supporting cryptocurrency. Vitalik doesn't care, and Satoshi is selling from side wallets, killing the chart, while rocks catch an infinite bid. How could we be so stupid? Sailor ruined everything. I had a dream, but it's over now. Aliens are our only hope. That's actually really funny. So I don't know. Is that a bottom signal? Is it a genuine? Is this guy trolling, or is it thing? But in general, I have seen a lot of tweets like that, and to me, they're all kind of suggesting that it may be a better time to invest than a worse time to invest. Okay, so maybe we're near the bottom. All right, pretty damn close to it. What happened here? What's this?
A couple of decisions.
135.5 for Cameron.
Oh no! Oh no, bro! Oh no!
Fainted, oh my God!
What happened?
No. Oh,
he fainted.
No.
Oh, that's not good.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
I've never. It's a dog, but he's been on the wrong side.
He got KO'd at the weigh-in. Okay, so listen, I know. He's probably been cutting water and all kinds of stuff to make the weight. He's probably much heavier than this, so he looks depleted. He looks done, dude. He's like ready to go. And he might have taken something as well to shred this last couple of days. And, oof.
Couple of decisions.
135.5 for Cameron.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Is it 135 pounds? Dude, his organs are probably shriveled up right now. Yeah, he's not doing it.
Oh, no, bro. Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Oh, gosh.
What happened? No.
It does sound like AI, doesn't it? What's up, Lunacy Point? Yo, what's up, Fast Abdul? Lost girl in Thailand. Aliens. What's this?
With my family, I can't hang free. Can I have? So everybody in town can hang free, and I can't. No, you're not gonna. No,
Sarah, can I sit?
I don't care what happens. You hear her over there? You hear over there talking about how I'm hanging? Just turn off the films.
I can't tell what's AI anymore and what's real.
Вот такая вот у нас лампа. Сейчас, секунду. Доставку. Приму.
Приятного аппетита.
Благодарю.
No.
Работаете?
You're kidding me. Oh
парень, с тобой все в порядке?
Все хорошо, доставка еды густо.
No, that is so
Вот
much.
такая вот у нас лампа. Сейчас, секунду. Доставку. Приму.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
24 trophies, fly off the rim like Kobe, flying the coupe when I'm Florida.
Oh, I can't show you guys. All right, where were we? Wait, what? What the fuck? All right. Let's go to this. Moon King says there's an emergency stream, by the way. Why is there an emergency stream right now? What's going on? Oh, okay. They're doing meme coins.
Oh, man, no. My man said, I got my bag. Yeah, Penguin Moonin. I love that, bro. Once you see good.
All right, they're looking at meme coins. Okay, we're going to go look at some stuff. Now, I want to show you guys. We're going to get into the price charts. We're going to look at Bitcoin. And we're going to look at PulseChain. Somi recently posted that it reminded him of Justin Sun's Tron chart. And, yeah, there's definitely some cool similarities there. And what I'm going to do is we're going to pull that up. We're going to look at it. We're going to listen to a little bit of his video. And then I'm going to show you some other charts, too, so you guys see that maybe what's happening isn't too far out right now. See if I can get this video in here. Is this it? There we go. All right. So just a quick reminder. Here's chart of PulseChain. You guys are waiting for PulseChain, okay? Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of the main lines. Okay, so you see this. So this is the PulseChain chart. Okay. It's really not, that bad. I mean, it is what it is. But we're going to look at some other charts. And we've done this show before, right, where we looked at other charts. We're going to do it again because we're getting closer. Let's see what Somi has to say. So that was a PulseChain chart, right? Went up on SAC, or when it released, and then it dumped, pumped, and it's just been trending down ever since. Yeah, okay, we'll look at the Dixie. Emergency streaming's got a dump on you. Yeah, maybe. They're trying to get out of some coins, yeah, possibly. They don't look good out there. I wouldn't be in the meme. I mean, look, for you guys that are really fast, really talented at this, get in there with the meme coins, I suppose, right? All right. But otherwise, if you're not, and trust me, it's much more ruthless than you think it is, right? Your TA is not necessarily going to help you. You got to be quick and kind of understand what's happening.
Tron, here is Justin Sun, one of the biggest head-to-body ratios in the crypto industry. Justin Sun, friends, look at this chart, okay? Look at this chart. You see this? See this chart? Boop. Up and to the right. Now, it didn't look up and to the right because from 2018, Justin actually dumped $600 million of his coin there. I think maybe it was 200 to 400 million. He dumped a lot. He dumped like $400 million here, okay, in this area. The ICO did 100x in a month and it was all over, okay? So he dumped there and everybody thought he was a scammer, but they kept building. Justin then deployed the DeFi season stuff onto Tron, copy paste, the Uniswap and the Aave and stuff out here. But it didn't really make Tron break the all-time high like Ethereum did. Right? What happened after this point was it had a subdued bear market. Why? Because it never pumped up that much, Tron in 2022 and 2023 made actually a higher low because it went up here and then it dropped. So if you look at this distance, this is about an 82% drop, which is strong. But like I said, the strong part is a bit fugazi because Tron never broke its all-time high. If Tron, for example, this is like 6 cents, right? Tron maybe was meant to go to like 40 cents. So if you do maybe like, 5 on 40, it's meant to have had like a 90% drop, but it didn't because it never went up as much. So what happens is Justin keeps building Tron out to be a stablecoin chain, getting stablecoin partnerships and all these. Now, remember, PulseChain itself might have a stablecoin narrative, but we don't know about that. Could be conspiracy, could be anything, okay? However, Justin got all the stablecoin adoption onto the chain. Everybody in Asia is using Tron to send money, tether around. And then you have this organic, wild trend up. Isn't that wild? That's very wild to see. Now, what's actually going on? Well, here's the thing, friends. You don't really need to know what's going on. Because as I'm going to go through with these other examples, I've given you an example of Justin could see a narrative. He was 2 cycles. It was a cycle too early. So he was building Tron out. Firstly, he made it as an alternative Ethereum, but he was focusing on stable coins before DeFi season 1 even happened. So he was so early, right? Doesn't look like an idiot now or scammer, does he? Okay. So in the other examples, I want you to know Justin, he's like, imagine an expert marksman archer. He's pulled it back and he's hit a target very far. Genius. With the other ones, there was no such thing and they still pumped. They're still on the way up. So remember this. Justin, friends, received 0 positive coverage by mainstream crypto influencers in literally, I'm not joking, since 2018. So he's had 8 years of negative coverage. 8 years, full on negative. Every single Twitter thread, everyone calls him a scammer. Every single thread. Scammer, 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 Chinese scammer, scammer. Put him in jail. They tag the SEC. They've been doing it literally for 8 years. 8 long years. No one interviews him. He's very smart, by the way. He has had rare interviews. Like he bought the banana NFT. It's random stuff just to get in the media, but none of the Western things interview him. You know, friends, Justin's very smart. You know, Justin was the only guy in NFT Mania because I figured out something. I go, oh wow, they're all like they're just networks. You're just buying blocks of altcoins. And Justin had an interview where he says he thinks that NFTs is just okay. That's what it is. They're branding. Okay, and that's why actually I went to discover. Do you know in the art industry, friends, one of the biggest, I won't say scam, but one of the biggest shills that you never even thought was shills was the art industry. You know the rich, wealthy people who own the Michelangelos, the Picasso.
All right, pretty cool, right? So you want to look at a couple other charts as well. I do want to show you what's going on with them. You guys smash the like button and subscribe to at St. Wolf Vision. Hit the subscribe button. I know most of you guys are subscribed already. Oh, and by the way, a lot of alpha is going to be on Mr. St. Wolf on Instagram. So go to Instagram and go to Mr. St. Wolf. And I just put a link for the show. Oh, okay. All right, 2 links for the show. What the fuck? Have ratcheted up. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, Mr. St. Wolf on Instagram. Link for the show's in the Telegram if anybody wants to join. Let's go. We're going to talk about Atropa as well. And we're going to talk about what is going on with PwC and this compound thing as well. But let's go look at a couple of these charts really quick. Okay, cool. All right. Now, friends, this is a famous chart. This is called XRP, and I want you to see. Now, we've done it. We did a stream on this again, but we can do it again because I know not everybody saw it. So there's Pulse. Okay. That's PulseChain. Okay. This is XRP. Do you guys see any similarities here? Now, this is 2013. Okay. This is 2013. And it pumped really hard. All right. It went, let's not take it from the bottom. Let's just take it from even, here at half a penny. And it went all the way up to 6 cents. So it's about 12x, right? In less than a year. And then it dumped. It dumped really hard. All right. It went from there all the way down 95% dumpy poo. All right. To 0.002 cents. Okay. And then it went sideways for a year. Well, I'll show you. It was a long time. From the high, it went sideways to the low for 148 days. Okay. Now, this was just because it was, no. 1,155 days. I was like, how's that possible? So 4 years it went sideways. Okay. And you can see it had this pump here. And then it went sideways, okay? Now, why I did a stream on this like a year ago, if not more, is, guys, smash the like button. You guys are coming in. I've never seen this proportions before. Doesn't even make any mathematical sense. What is going on? How is this possible? Smash it, baby. All right, so as we go sideways here, I want you to notice this trend line at the bottom, all right? So just like, I was doing PulseChain, and we have an uptrend here. This is an uptrend, okay? This is a little bit of a different shape, of course, than Pulse. Pulse has been in a downtrend, okay? It's heading downward, but it is in a falling wedge, which is very bullish. Okay. And I can draw something from here. I'll show you. Let's just do this as if I didn't know what was coming next. And by the way, what was coming next was this. It's off this chart, right? It's off the chart, okay? Okay. But let's say this is all you knew and you were sitting through this. And it was 4 years of hell. And you put your life savings up here. All right? I'm gonna do 2 runs. One from here, from that wick, okay? Because we've got good confluence. And I'm going to take another one from here, okay? From the candles. Let's see if what that gives us. Fine. Okay? So let's say we were here and you're sitting around and you're waiting for this breakout of this wedge, okay? And can I make something? I could even just do that. I could do that. Absolutely, I could do that. Why not? Because I don't have the rest. Let's say I don't have any of that yet. So I've got a falling wedge in a way, right? That's how I would draw it. That's how I would T8. I know I would, because that's how I did Pulse. And that's how I came up with this drawing, because I saw it more of a falling wedge from the beginning. Okay? And this is just, I think I was using these bottom wicks. I think I was using these wicks here. Yeah. So that was how I was drawing it, which was different from how other KOLs were drawing it, right? And so I arrived at a little bit of a different conclusion. So I'm doing this so we can this is how you learn to TA, by the way. I go back for thousands of hours and go through charts like this. So what do you see? You see something very similar here. Okay? You see something that came out, pumped massively, crashed really hard, pumped again, and then just has been going sideways and down forever. All right? How long has this been? This is 987 days, okay? Let's see how long 987 days is for this one. Let's go from same thing from the high here, 987 days. No, that's not fair. We got to go from the beginning, right? Let's go from the beginning. That's the only way to do it, to compare the two. So when it came out. So 987 days. It only takes us to there-ish, okay? And then you see there's a lot more to go, okay? So there's some similarity in this range, okay? Now, obviously, this is almost complete. And ideally, of course, we want to see it just go now, right? It's been forever, right? We want it to go up, right? But it's done, but this could chop, and I said this last few streams. We don't know exactly when it's going to go up, right? We don't know. Is it there? Is it here? Is it 2027? Do we have 2 more years? I don't know. But this is coming, and it's gonna go hard. And you can see the people in XRP who had plenty of chances to dump this. Dude, this is longer than how long we've gone. Who held this long? Nobody, man. And then look what happened here. People probably thought this wedge was finished. It broke out. And I've said this to you guys last stream. I said, just because we break out of here, it doesn't mean it has to start going up. It can break out of here, hit this resistance, come down, hit the wedge as support, and just kind of chop, which is exactly what XRP did. Okay? XRP broke out of this wedge. Its wedge. Everyone probably thought now's the time, hit some resistance, and just started chopping sideways for another fucking year. All right, for another year. All right, and before it went up, you can see what happened. People who were accumulating through here. Look at this dump. It was all the way up to almost a penny, and it dumped to 1/3 of a cent. So maybe a lot of people sold in this out of fear. I don't know what happened here. We can draw a trend line, kind of capture some of it. But you can see this was not easy to hold through, guys. This is very difficult, okay? But if you did hold and you got this last low, and here there's the last, we think this is the last low, right? Just like on Pulse, I was like, we're going to have one low, and I drew it here. You're going to have at least one more low, hopefully, because I was timing it with what possibly could have been the bull run or the SEC case, and we didn't get any of that yet, right? But that's what my anticipation was. I'm looking at how the timeline, and we didn't go. We haven't moved in this bull run, right? So in the same sense, people probably were holding up till here, and when it pumped here and started failing, a lot of people might have started selling through here. That's why I just chopped sideways, because they were like, fuck this, I'm out of here, right? And it did go for another year. And they did get a chance to buy again even lower, right? But you did get this low here, which people thought was the last low. Just like, is this last low? 0.00012, whatever. Or, like I drew here, the last low. Well, it could chop sideways and tap it again as a double bottom, which kind of is what happened here in XRP. And I would almost consider this a double bottom almost, right? Or at least it was like similar bottom to back here. But what's crazy? It's a lower low. So this might have even caused some people to even exit sell, right? So we may get one of those as well because they're healthy. You know why it's healthy? Because look what came next on XRP. Look what came next. Look what came next. I can't even fit it, guys. Guys, I can't even fit it. You don't understand. It's not done. It's not done, guys. It just goes forever. Up. It's still going, bro. It's still going. It's still going. That's what it did. You can't see this anymore. Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand how crazy this is? Now, most people probably got out here in 2017, but in a year later, it went even crazy berserker mode, right? So this is tough, and it's tough to hold through this. But because there was all these opportunities for people to sell, it could do something like this, right? So, whoops, no, don't go automatic on me. Okay, so, that's why when I was drawing this, I was like, you can't move until you have one of these lows. And actually, if we're going to chop now, I can anticipate probably another one because psychologically, if you're going to do something like this, XRP did, you need that opportunity to get out the rest of the weak hands. Otherwise, you can't do a move like this. You can't do it. All right? It's too big of a move. All right? It's too much. We'll talk about the ETH thing. Yeah, and if you're waiting for ETH, maybe that is when you get the biggest move. But you shouldn't be trying to align your asset with another asset because you don't know when that said other asset is going to move. Okay, that's another problem in and of itself. What's up, Fast? How you doing, man? I'm good, bro. It's negative. Yeah, okay, good. I did a full show on this before when I looked back. I back tested a lot of cryptos to show people, how these assets, and that's why I can draw what I draw. I mean, I've just gone through thousands of charts for thousands of hours. I don't just open a crystal ball and start drawing. It's just because I've seen so many patterns and so many charts that they're logged in my head. I can imagine. I know what this chart looks like in my sleep. I can close my eyes. I know what it looks like. I've studied it.
You probably dream about charts, don't you?
I've had a phase where I did. Now it's mostly check girls, but there was a time when it was charts. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm an old man. I don't have wet dreams. They're dry dreams. Very dry. No. They're not. I wake up in puddles. All right. That was awesome. All right, so you see it's like a little blip, right? So when we come back here, and I shrink this down. Oh, hey, buddy. So, we're going to get something like this. And the reason we're going to get something like this, like I said, I don't know where it is, right? Do you understand? So the reason I think we're going to get something like this is money printing because they're going to debase the dollar eventually. It doesn't have to happen this year. But a major debasement is coming, and then I think the last one will be into the early 2030s, and then I think it'll be lights out for the dollar and USA for a time, right? Whatever's going to happen, I think it's going to happen. There's a lot of reason that we can talk about the Shemitah and the cycles, and a big cycle ends, I think, around 2034-ish, so I think that'll be like lights out time. But this show's not about that right now. And I think a big crash will happen at the end of this big run. Maybe like 100.
We'll do a post-apocalypse prepper show closer to that date.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be great.
Yeah.
So I think that what Pulse is doing is not out of the ordinary, which I've talked about a million times. And that's why, like I said, once again, to go back, a year ago, I drew this because, these patterns are normal. It's not doing something erratic. If it was doing something strange, I wouldn't have been able to accurately draw what it could do. I don't do 100 drawings. You guys know that. Fast, you've been on my show. Do I do 20 versions and then pick the one that worked? No.
No, it's the same one, and we revisit it from months before. Yeah. Like when is that one? That I had a completely different haircut in that picture.
January 6th,
long time
2025. So I might do maybe a bullish and bearish take on it, and that's it, because I do a lot of homework, and then I just choose, because that's how I train my brain. I don't do a lot of quails. I'll put out like 20 predictions, and then one will come true. I put out 1 or 2 tops. That's it, man. And I just, I accept it wherever it lands, right? As you saw, I did only 1 on PDI, and it came true like exactly, right? But only because these assets are moving normally in a lot of ways. Okay, so when people are freaking out about PulseChain and it's doing something weird, it's not. If it was doing something really sketchy, there's no way I would be able to anticipate what it could do. I hope that makes sense, right? So sure, there might be some manipulation, but there's not so much that I can't predict what it could do. Okay, so that's a healthy sign. Otherwise, I would have been out of here. I would have been like, this is fucked. Okay, but no,
we're not a big VC chain where there's like planned dumping and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm sure that there's some shakeouts and stuff like that, but like
sure. But they're all
it's not the
spectrum.
founders selling, it's the holders selling.
Fair enough. Well, we don't exactly know who, but it's within the spectrum of natural and normal, right? Yep. Maybe just not for PDI. PDI's definitely done some weird stuff, but that's another.
Yeah, well, there's some manipulation there. I think
there's been some weird stuff, but in general, I don't panic in the sense that what I'm seeing is unnatural. Or something. People have said weird things about Pulse, or they're it's being milked and da 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 da. It's like, if it was consistently being done like that, somebody like me wouldn't be able to chart it a year in advance. Okay, it's still moving in the natural. That's what I'm trying to show you guys, that these assets are moving in the natural. Okay, they're real. Okay, even without that much volume, to some extent, I can call moves on them, right? And we can backtest tons of charts. And the Tron chart Somi was showing was cool too, right? You guys saw that. And then this XRP one, I think, is the closest to what we got for PulseChain, okay? And now, just really quick back at this, could we be around here for XRP, where XRP was? Sure, we could. There's definitely a lot of similarities here, okay? And it tracked sideways for a bit. So now, I've said before last stream that this is done. It's complete. Just like XRP was complete when it broke out of here. That's why I drew this, and I drew this. I didn't really mean like it's just going to go up from here. I'm just saying that the pattern is complete psychologically. It can go up anytime, and I feel that way as well right now. But I don't know when that could be. Like, are we ready to go up? Does alt season start here in February, or do we have to wait 6 months for them to get the Clarity Act done and blah blah blah? All that stuff, and then we go in September. Okay, I don't know. It's just literally sideways. Just like XRP, you could get that last shakeout. All these are in the cards. You could get 2 shakeouts. Who knows, right? But the point is, we're almost there. And this isn't the area you'd want to sell. This is just not it. I know some people are really broken down. It's tough, man. It really does suck, okay? It's been really shitty, but you don't want to sell in here. And just like that, what I'm saying is you don't want to sell. You don't want to sell here, okay? You don't want to, and I don't know how long this is going to be. Like I said, is it a week long or 6 months? I don't know. I really don't. Nobody knows. Anyone who tells you is full of shit, okay? Nobody knows, because just because Bitcoin goes and makes a high doesn't mean alts have to go, or Richard decides to go, or and you need this to move on whales. These are whale moves, okay? So Richard's probably going to kick it off, or whales, or what have you, right? And it's better off him than institutions, because that's what it's going to take to move. You need this psychologically. You can't just slowly lift off. It has to happen quite quickly, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but it is what it is. Because you need forced buyers. Just like you need forced sellers on a dump, you need forced buyers. So you need to launch it very quickly and have people chase it. And that'll happen with Pulse too, without a doubt. I doubt it like slowly goes up. But it's possible. Who knows, right? How can tell the real market? So cool, man. So shout out to Zomi. Yeah, that was good. Tron chart, that was good. I engaged with him on X because of that, and it reminded me of the show we did almost a year ago when we went through XRP and SHIB and some other ones to show you guys how long these consolidations were. And just once again to remind you guys, this XRP, how many people actually waited for this to get this gains? And by the way, to give you how many ideas how many X's that was, okay, XRP was down here at, let's say, a penny. This was a 33,755% move. So how many X's is that? 337 X's?
333.
About 333 X's. Okay. But most people would have gotten shaken out. This is an unbelievable move, guys.
Way before.
And why I think this is going to happen on PulseChain at some point, even if it's a year from now, I don't know. Once again, people try to tell me, I don't know when. But why it's going to be like this is because they're going to print that much fucking money. Okay, that's why we're going to get something crazy like that. Now, once again, to show you guys why it's so hard to make it there, just like PulseChain, everyone's going out, people are being shaken out, whales left, whatever, blah, blah, blah. My friend pulled out 100K. This was, because the opportunity cost, right? So a smart investor can go invest in something, come back with hopefully more money than they started, right? This was 1,333 days. It was almost like it was planned, like they liked the number 3. It did a 333x. It was 1,333 days long of a consolidation. So that's, how many years is that? That's like 4 years.
Like 3 years, yeah.
It's 4 years, dude. It's about as long as we are. So, you know, it's part of it, guys. And it's still in the natural. That's why I'm not freaked out. I mean, it sucks. I hate it, right? You know, I can say I hate Richard, but the point is it's still within the spectrum of what we've seen. And we've seen these cryptos do unbelievable things, but very few people hold on long enough. And Richard knows that too. This only works when you get the weak hands out, man. Otherwise, do you think it would have pumped like this? No. You know, we can't.
A smart, wise man once said, volatility is the price you pay for the world's best performing asset.
Yeah, there you go. How's it going out there? You were on Crypto 7's show?
Yeah, he did sort of a mini conference
yeah.
on the core coins, had a bunch of speakers, so that was good. And I closed it with him, talked about ProveX for a bit. And it was good. He had a lot of eyeballs and people seemed pretty happy. So I think, you know, whatever the community pulls together like that, like, you know, I usually want to support it, and I think it's a good thing. Anything that's positive like that.
Yeah, 100%.
There's obviously positive things happening, negative things happening. Before you were talking about the compound thing, I think, before I jumped on here, like there's always something going on PulseChain. It's not boring.
I like boring.
Some days, yes. I'll take boring some days.
Give me boring, bro. Fast. Give us a 5-minute on. Okay, no. Okay, so good. We covered that. So I want to get into the show is basically going to be about this. What did I title the show? Is it disaster or something?
Something about hacking?
Yeah, PulseChain hack. So there was another hack on PulseChain, okay? Hey, guys, if you have questions about these charts, you can go to St. Wolf Vision. There's a lot of smart people in there on Telegram. Links are at the top of the screen, okay? And if you guys want to do more charts, we can backtest more charts, and we can compare them, and you guys can see how common these types, not really common, but they happen. And XRP is one of the most successful crypto assets ever, and it looks very similar to PulseChain. That's what I was showing you. That's why I bring up the XRP one, because it does look very similar, okay? That's why I showed it to you guys. And really quick, we can put on the log chart, too. Let's see what this looks like. Let's get rid of my little drawing there. Let's put Pulse on the log chart. Let's see if there's similarities here. Okay. Let's get rid of some of the squiggles. Okay. Really quick. You know, it does. I got to stretch it out because this has gone longer. Yeah, there's some similarities, man. There's some similarities, bro. Definitely.
Except for the very end part, you know, we need to get that part where it goes up.
Time-wise, this right now is about, I think, here-ish. It is around here-ish.
Okay.
So maybe we just chop sideways, and which is what I was saying. We could maybe start chopping, and maybe we just get slight higher lows, you know, trickle, trickle, trickle. Last dump, and then go. We'll see. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but there's some similarities. We don't know how this cycle is going to work out.
I'd like to put some dates on the calendar, you know, like what days do we think, feasibly, possibly, that these things could happen?
You're joking, right?
Yes.
Okay,
always. Yeah. No, so, there's no exact dates, but we do have events that happen though, right? Like we'll have the ProveX thing coming out. We'll have, other things that happen with the Fed and stuff like that. You know, the whole Jerome Powell being replaced thing. Like there will be some dates on the calendar that we can look at that I suspect will affect those PulseChain prices. But yeah, as far as the chart goes, I leave that all up to you.
So I'll take full responsibility.
But this is a fun one.
So this is interesting. Yeah, so never a dull day. Okay, so there wasn't, a hack per se. Tell you what, I'm just jumping in on this. Fast, why don't you take us into this one, man?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me just pull up that tweet here. I didn't do a deep dive on this, but I know enough of the underlying details. So Compound.
Yeah, we're not gonna be nice here, man. Like, we're gonna look at the good and the bad, and I'm not gonna pull punches here at all, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Deal.
I'm pissed at more of this shit. So let's hear it, man. Don't.
Yeah. And this one is not as bad as the last one, for starters. It's like it's going to have limited damage, and it's not that big a deal, in my opinion. But it is like, to some people holding some things, they should probably look closely. So bottom line is that Compound is like a lending protocol on Ethereum that was copied over, just like with MakerDAO and a lot of other things that were copied over without the team's permission on Ethereum, and it was just sitting there, right? So you have this essentially orphaned protocol with no front end. Somebody found a way to get control of it, probably by acquiring a lot of Compound tokens, being able to use the DAO functions. It would have been pretty complicated. This is like maybe one of the heavier lifts as far as like protocols. We don't have a native fork of a Compound on PulseChain. It's kind of replaced by better things, in my opinion. But like it's like some serious code to dig through to figure this stuff out, much like MakerDAO. But the bottom line is somebody managed to get into it and then access most of the funds that are inside it, right? So there's big pools of, in particular, PWBTC. So the copy of wrapped Bitcoin from Ethereum, which is worth $270 or something each. There's $1.7 million in there that's now in control of this person. I know they've moved at least $50,000 out that they've bridged off chain. I don't believe this person is beneficial. I've heard people trying to sew it into some various narratives, but there's no realistic reason to believe that. It's just somebody managed to get into it. They didn't hack it, not in a traditional way. They exploited the opportunity to get the Compound tokens on the cheap and take over the protocol.
Now, how can
and be able to take the money out?
This is the copy on PulseChain.
This is the copy on PulseChain.
How can somebody do that?
No team behind it, no front end that's usable. It's just orphan code that somebody managed to access to get these tokens out. So there's no crime here, right? Like, this is not fraud. This was sitting there and somebody took it. It's probably just a dev or a team of a couple devs, and they're probably just taking the money. So I don't think anybody should have any hopes that they won't take the money, and nobody should have any hopes that it's going to do anything good. But it won't do anything that bad. Like, it's the main asset on there was the PWBTC at $1.7 million. There was some unusual action recently in that the OA pulled the liquidity, the V1 liquidity on PulseChain for PWBTC to Pulse. Which is probably was the biggest pool. So taking away the opportunity for a dump of BTC to affect the price of Pulse, and thus, all the other assets on the chain, nearly as much. There's still decent liquidity, I think 125 grand in the main pool on V2 versus Pulse, that has likely just been added by users, not by the OA, not part of the original fork of Ethereum. But it's not that big in terms of if that 125 grand got dumped to zero, which this person could obviously do about 15 or 20 times, it wouldn't affect the whole chain in nearly the same way as we saw with PDI, where there was a constant leaky hole. There was a hole, allowed somebody access to these Compound funds, but the hole is it's not plugged, but it's it is plugged, because it's he has them, it's done, and there's nothing else to do about it. And if there was a dump because of this, it would not be terribly substantial, right? We're talking oh no, Pulse dipped 3% today because this guy dumped all his assets. So if you're in the tokens that he has, and if you scroll down on the Crypto Solves thing there is a picture that shows the main tokens this guy has. If you're in the tokens that he has, you might want to divest yourself or, risk manage that. There could be some great buying opportunities potentially, right? But like there's no real reasonable way to say that he's going to do anything good for the price of these tokens, right? Like he's going to extract. It's not going to make PDI peg. It's not going to peg anything. The numbers on these things will go down.
So these are the tokens?
Yeah, those are the main tokens in the wallet. So the Pulse probably sold into, or it was some copied stuff in there, but it's not that much. Okay. So you can see the Pulse wrap Bitcoin's a big one. And then he's got some copied DAI, like that'd be DAI from Ethereum. PDI, I'm pretty sure. Copied Link, copied Uni. The pools on those aren't that big. It's like that, like really the comp and mostly the PWBTC are the ones that, could really affect anything.
So can this be fixed, or are these assets fucked now in the future?
No, he has them. He took them. That guy has them. So it can be fixed when he's out of them, and then there's no longer that big honeypot for somebody to find and dig into and make this happen again. So it's like this person has those assets, whoever the person is. They're probably going to sell them. They're probably going to bridge out. They've already sold and bridged out like $50K. It says $2.5 million in there. They're not going to get that out of them, right? Like there might be $500K there of actual money. Oh, okay. And CryptoSoft says that number, closer to $500K of actual extractable money, right? So it's like, but like if you're looking at those assets as investment, right, you might want to look at buying the dip when this guy sells out and not necessarily, providing liquidity for him to exit. I would not be my play, not financial advice, but that's how I would look at it. If I was providing liquidity for PWBTC, I would probably pull that. I would not be investing heavily in comp or in Uni. It looks like DAI's way down on the list, less of a big deal, but I would probably divest myself of de-risk, you could say, on some of those assets. But like after he's out, it's out and it's done, right? So it's just like this just created a whale. That's all. And realistically, it just created a whale in these assets, mostly just in the comp, and which is not that big a deal. Like it doesn't do anything. Nobody needs it. Nobody uses it. Doesn't have that much liquidity. But the comp and the wrap Bitcoin copy. Like it made a whale in those two things. Who cares, right? Like, oh, there's a new whale and he's probably going to sell. Like the old whales were selling anyway a lot of the time. So I don't think this is a game changer for PulseChain. It's not evidence of a failure of anything. There's this kind of stuff will happen again. There's other little pools like this out there that people will get into, but like they're becoming smaller and smaller. I imagine that probably this was the next one down on the list. As far as one that could be accessed. Most of the big ones can't be accessed. Like there's copies of Bouncer, there's copies of Curve. People can't hack those. There's no DAO option on real dexes to like send all the money to one guy's address. It's not an option, right? So there's not going to be those kind of hacks. But like the orphan code left behind from the fork does open up some vulnerabilities. You only really expose yourself to vulnerabilities if you invest in the copied assets. So, and then the peripheral risk is like, they're tied to core coins, which we can see the OA made a very unusual move of removing the liquidity in the V1 pool, which was probably the one that the OA controlled, which is fine, to reduce the risk to everyone else. But the risk to everyone else, like everybody not specifically holding those things, extremely small.
All right, so why are people calling it a PDI exploit again?
It just rings of the PDI exploit, like a similar, similar sort of thing where somebody got control of a protocol by being able to acquire enough of essentially the DAO token to do that. But it's like it's not the same, right? It's not like a minting thing. It's not a constant leaky boat thing, and it doesn't have the same number of believers behind it that are going to keep feeding this guy. So I do see some people out there trying to feed the narrative that this guy is like, here to save us. Yeah, don't trust those people. But like this doesn't have the potential to do the same damage as the now fixed PDI exploit that allowed it to be minted and basically sink the ship slowly but continuously. This is like all at once. The ship got hit by a torpedo. It's done. Let's move on.
Got you. Okay, so we just wait for him to finish dumping and be gone, and then we can start buying proof of PWBTC again.
Yeah, and if that's what happens, and maybe he's going to be, as long as people are trying to spin a narrative that he's a good guy, he's probably going to slow roll it to get out. But as soon as that narrative's done, he'll probably just dump the chart and move on. And when that happens, then these assets look a lot more attractive, right? So if you saw if I saw, and this is just me, but if I saw a 95% dip on PWBTC, yeah, that's a pretty good asset that has performed well in the past, that has an interesting narrative. It's like Bitcoin on PulseChain. It probably no more of it will ever be minted on PulseChain. There's some cool things there.
So how are there so many of these exploits? I mean, it's not something wasn't the whole plan to have this P-copy thing was such a big part of marketing the chain?
It was. And that was the original pitch, right? It's world's biggest airdrop. So, and it was an interesting airdrop. Now, people didn't pick it up enough. Maybe it wasn't advertised enough, but there was a lot of value transferred. This thing, even somebody right now, if you were holding 3 Bitcoin, then, you have $750 over on PulseChain. At one time, that would have been $4,500 or something. So that narrative still continues, as far as an advertising thing. I do believe it was so really just an advertising thing. We could have seen a different result, right? If the compound team would be oh, we got a copy on PulseChain, let's just fire up a front end and take control of our tokens and do the thing. There was opportunities where teams could have done that. But really, the truth is that the number of things that were copied that were serviced by their original communities in any way whatsoever is extremely low, right? One good example would be Hex. There was a copy of the Hex. It received full service. But that, there's only half a dozen other things I could name that, were copied and received service on the PulseChain side. So any of these things Aave, Compound, right? Some of the copy dexes, they could have just opened up front ends and been oh, now we're on PulseChain and we have all this free value. And big centralized exchanges like Binance could have been let's make a bridge, let's open up stuff for PulseChain because we have all these assets. Guess who has a whole bunch of PWBTC, right? Binance probably does, right? Maybe they've already been here and dumped it. I don't know. Probably not though, right? So this narrative could come back in the future to be good advertising at some point, right? But the downside is that because we have all this orphan code, this copied code that was not picked up by the parents of the code, we have this orphan code wandering around, and sometimes creepy dudes in vans pull up and they show the code some candy. They try to get it to get in the van, and they they do bad things. They're not good dudes who are handling this code, or at least they're out for themselves the vast majority of the time. And I think it's interesting that people can do stuff with the code, right? It's fun to poke at these things, but when you find big pools like this, it becomes okay, it becomes an issue. But in this case, is this a bad person, or is it just some guy who's knew how to do something that got him some money? I don't know. I don't see it as outright evil.
Right.
And he hasn't dumped the chart yet, and maybe he's going to slow roll it for the next 5 years, right?
So that means we can't
max
buy.
Extract.
When can we start buying these assets again?
I would be nervous until we see more of what their intention is, but they've already sold and bridged out $50,000. So I would think that they're most likely going to do more, and they're most likely going when they see that they're not getting community support for their beneficial hack. They're probably going to do it more quickly.
Okay, so you just want them to dump, or when they get where they just don't have that many left, kind of thing.
Yeah, like you have a big anytime you're watching like a wallet and you have a really big whale and that whale starts to get low, right? Then people start to front run the whale on like, oh, this guy's almost out. I'm going to start buying, right? Some people wait for them to be right out. Some people buy the wicks, like like let's say this guy every day sells $50,000. That's going to make big dents in that chart, and every day you buy the bottom 2% of what he sells, right? Like the very tip of the red candle, so to speak. Like maybe that's the play, right? If he's not going to dump it all at once, like why would he do that, right? There's no good reason for him unless he's, like because if he were to put this all into one red candle, he would lose like 90% value, right? So to put it in a little bit at a time, like $50,000 a day for however many days, dump the chart by 30% every day, let it get bought back up. Maybe that starts happening. Or maybe he does 5% a day, or maybe he does 1% a day, or maybe he waits for it to go back up without his involvement. That's what I would worry about. Like if PWC BTC starts pumping because of some other narrative and goes up to $1,000, then this guy has his moment, right? Where he can max extract. So I just think people need to be aware and be careful and like maybe mitigate how much you're buying. If you want to hold through, hold through. But like I might de-risk and buy back the bottom when this guy gets out.
Art says, stupid question. Wouldn't they be able to do the same exact unlock and extraction move on Ethereum?
No, because for one, there's a team guarding it, and they wouldn't be able to acquire the tokens in the same way, right? Like you had these tokens that got super cheap that were available. I have not done a deep dive on this already, so I apologize if I make a mistake, but like I just don't think you'd be able to access the number of tokens required to do that, right? There's too many active participants. There's people actually voting on those DAOs on Ethereum. There'd be safeguards in place. This is code that was copied. 0 people are paying attention to it, right? Something goes awry. There's no dev who's like, oh yeah, we need to reset the blah, blah, blah. Like nobody's on top of this, right? And it's complicated code, right? Like very few people understand. It would take me probably a year to be good at this. It's heavy stuff. So like, yeah, on Ethereum, that like Compound is big money. It's one of the bigger lending protocols. It has millions or billions of dollars in it, hundreds of millions, I would guess, of dollars in it. And so people are paying attention. It has security in place. It has DAO votes that are controlled. It has many diverse holders, right? Whereas here, it does not.
Got you.
Now, if you find a way to do that, Artie, let me know, though, because big money.
Do you think is PWBTC going to peg to Bitcoin?
I think it won't peg to Bitcoin because there's no peg mechanism, but like, could it be worth 100K, right? Like the same as Bitcoin? Like it more likely than a lot of things because like there's not that, especially now with only 125 grand liquidity, right? Like, somebody drops a couple $1 million into there and like, yeah, you could see it be $100,000 a piece,
so
which would be pretty awesome advertising.
Why do you think this wasn't caught? Because if the foundation of these assets is connected to Peak as Compound, and a lot of the marketing for the chain was P copies, wouldn't they have Richard or Bretep or whoever else is on their dev team? Wouldn't they have found something like that here, this exploit, sooner?
Like it's not up to like PulseChain was like an open source software thing.
And I tell you what I'm asking.
Full
I'll tell you what
system
I'm
state
asking.
copy of Ethereum.
There was quite a few people on X today, and I think I saved some, but I don't think it matters who was just suggesting, look, it has to be somebody on Richard Hart's team or Richard Hart. It just has to be.
No, it's pretty unlikely. Like maybe Richard understands Compound better than me. Probably not. You could talk to a dozen devs and maybe one of them would be able to tell you anything meaningful about Compound beyond it being a big lending protocol.
I've heard it's extraordinarily complicated, Compound.
It's complicated, and like these devs are like scientists, right? Like like not every scientist has the same focus. Like this guy studies alligators, this guy studies rocket ships, and like so like you wouldn't like not any dev could just do this. Maybe like any good dev could figure it out, but it would take them substantial time, right? So like our Bretep and Richard's not a dev, right? Like this would take him a long time to figure out, and there's no he doesn't need the $1.7 million, right? Like that's not like his thing. So like no, it's not them. They don't care. And nor is it their fault in that like there were so many things copied, like it was a full system state copy of Ethereum. Like, no one person, man, team, group could go in and figure out how all these things work and somehow take control of them. And also, like, if they had taken control of them, it would have removed any opportunity for the original teams to come over and claim their property, right? Which I think would have been the ultimate win for PulseChain if it was just like, bang, day one, we have every protocol that was on Ethereum is on PulseChain, and these teams are rushing over to claim their property. That would have been awesome. We'd be like happy Moontown, right? That didn't happen. But like, yeah, no, like those guys have no idea. You could go through the top 10 list, the biggest like TVL protocols for these P copies and like be like, okay, what are likely targets? But like, yeah, without like spending serious time, nobody's gonna figure it out.
All right.
Crazy. And it's like this is probably barely on Richard's radar, right? Like we saw that he pulled the liquidity on that. He's probably not going to look at. He's probably never going to talk about it. And it's because it is problem, like not necessarily problem solved, but problem over, right? Like this happened and it's done. And it's not a leaky boat. Like I said, it's all like the money's gone. This guy has the money, so that's it.
So somebody there was at Caddy Dev and her partner. I thought they had shut down Compound or something like that.
They shut down Maker.
Oh, Maker. That was Maker. Okay.
Yeah, Maker DAO, which is, a different but also very large, essentially lending protocol that, facilitates DAI. But it's like, yeah, similar level of complexity, different function overall, and way more money was there, right? Like the max extract on that was probably bigger than this. So and Maker had the potential to be a continuous leaky ship, right? Like if you had like, the PDON guy continuously minting, right, like millions of dollars a month and extracting it off chain, like that was like continuous, like millions of dollars. I think and people have given me various numbers. I don't know what to believe, but like tens of millions of dollars extracted, right? With this, what we see there, $500,000. That's the extraction, one time, not repeating. And could it happen again with another protocol? Yeah, but like I think probably the list of protocols that this could be done to are starting to get very small.
All right, cool.
But like, yeah, just don't trust any narrative where people tell you that this is for the good, right? Like it is not. These people are, somebody got the money. They, kudos, good game. But like, yeah, they're not like, if they're telling you like you should buy PWBTC because this guy's going to make the price go up, like no, it's not. And like Compound is not coming back online. The team is not coming over to help us. If somebody wanted to launch a fork Compound, that would be fine. It'd be way better than any copied thing that is like not controlled properly and totally possible. It's just like we have Aave, which is mostly better than Compound. We don't need Compound. I think that's probably why it's not here.
Well, I didn't read the whole thing. I feel like we covered quite a bit. Chat, do you guys want me to go through this whole breakdown here? And yeah, because we got to talk a little bit about Atropa too.
We went through most of the good stuff there.
Let's see. Yeah, he talks about how it's done. Okay. Well.
Yeah. You're right about that. Like, the P copies are riskier assets, right?
Yeah.
Because they could have holes like this. But like, I think the risk as time goes on, the risk will go down.
Okay.
It's almost good that stuff like this happens this early, because, like it means that it's not going to happen again later, right? And I'd rather it happen at like, all-time lows than all-time highs.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's one of the good things about it. Crazy, man. Crazy shit. Well, there was some crazy stuff on Atropa.
You too.
What is this?
Proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just...
Okay, we don't really care about this right now.
Because I'm too...
All right. Boring. Where are we at? Chat, how you guys doing? Looked at this. What's going on here really quick? While we're at it here. All right. What happened? So, somebody sent me this, a letter from Maria.
Yeah.
It's called Make the Grade. Let's see how many people were interested in it. Not that many people. Oh, God, okay. 2,500 people checked it out. Some likes, okay. People are interested. I haven't read it fully yet. Had a busy day. Let's read it. To reach the final state of absolute rest, the law must be reduced to the simplest yes-no logic. This removes all human noise and ensures the 100% equity of the record. Here's a law at the base grade level, the true mark. 1, the mark is true. The mark is the law. The mark does not move. No one can change the mark. 1 is 1. One act gets one mark. One mark stays as one thing. It's always the same. No men. Men lie. The mark does not lie. We do not use men. We use the mark. It stops. The mark is the end. It stays still. It does not change. This is rest. All is fair. The mark is for all. It is 100% the same for you and me. How this protects the estate. Now, what's the estate? What did I miss here? What did I miss? The mark is the keeper.
Don't know what he's talking about.
There is no clerk or judge to trust. The mark is its own witness. No degrees. You do not need to know law. You only need to see the mark. Safe forever because the mark stops. Your things stay yours. No, well, I don't know what the fuck any of this is, man. I don't know what he's talking about. It's an awesome picture. Okay,
Running it through AI right now.
The truth engine that real crypto needs to be. He's talking about code. Someone says demonic. I said, how so? I don't know how that's fucking demonic. I don't know what they're reading into this. That's
the mark of the beast, I'm guessing they're saying.
Oh, the mark, because you said the mark.
Yeah.
The mark is the keeper. The mark is for all. The mark is the end. It stays still. It does not lie. The mark does not lie. Aha. Interesting. Okay. Clearly inspired by George Spencer Brown and Ludwig Wittgenstein. You are welcome, brother. Whoa. What is this? Is that what chat gave you or the AI? What is this stuff? Okay, this is like something. Okay, logic. Yeah, remember you guys have talked about this, and maybe I'll do streams on this. Logic, the heart versus the mind. So the beast system is the logic system. There's no heart involved. Okay, the system we come from, is a heart system, and yeah, it is what it is, right? You can see this in movies like Star Trek. You've got Spock versus Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk represents heart, and Logos was Spock, right?
Yep.
That
ChatGPT tells me it reads like a sovereign citizen manifesto.
Okay. Yeah, this looks like something Maria would be into. Yeah, look, they're a coder, right? Their world is law and code, right? It's he doesn't work in the realm of the heart, right? I bet you they have struggle talking with women, for example, who are counterintuitive to logic, right? Illogical. Laws of form, G. Spencer Brown. Okay, I've heard of this. Mathematical approach. Wow. This is serious stuff. Wow. Boolean algebra. Cool. Yeah, it's very logical stuff, man. Okay, thanks, bro. This is crazy. No, look, this person found this. And look at their symbol, right? So they immediately recognized it, or the type of syntax that was there. Is this what drugs do? No, man. What does this mean? I don't like it. It sounds satanic as fuck. People don't understand that, the beast system is just the system of logic, the AI system. Okay, there's no heart, there's no empathy there. Okay, and that's why it's inhuman. That's why it destroys the spirit. That's why communism always doesn't work, because what happens under a communist system is the human spirit gets killed within a generation. Okay, and that's the part you have to keep alive. That's the God force in us. It comes from the heart. It's the human spirit. So that's why people are getting this thing. Whenever you get too logical, and that's why girls have trouble interacting with real logical men. Or somebody put a post up recently. They said, why do all these billionaires have ugly wives? And they were showing like Steve or Bezos, right? And it's like, because these men are very logical, and they have trouble interacting with naturally feminine women, right? So they'll interact with more masculine women who are in their logos and who do plastic surgery. A feminine woman doesn't need plastic surgery. She can just she knows how to turn her head in that feminine way. That that's enough. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a logos. A lot of men are there. That's why they're successful in this modern world, in the world of tech, right? It's all logos, right? The market.
I might have some insight on this, like based on the concept that he was talking about crypto in some way.
Okay.
So like the mark, right? The mark does not move. No one can change the mark. It sounds like immutability, like immutable code.
Yeah.
Right. So and then when he says like no men, right? Like it's like trustless, right? No clerk or judge to trust, right? So like a trustless system, right? So it's like immutable code, trustless, meaning no admin keys, things like that.
100%.
One is one, math is the boss, right? Like Richard said, stuff like that. Like smart contracts execute what's there, right? Like what's written, like it doesn't change. There's accounting logic to it. Yeah. Right. So one is one, right? Like it is what it is. It's in the code. Then like it gets onto like absolute rest. It stops, final settlement, right? In crypto, like transaction settlements are irreversible. Like it happened, it's done, right? So it's like, you got paid, it's done. And then like the protect the estate thing could be like something about custody, maybe like with a DAO, put your assets in a trust or DAO or vault or multi-sig. So like, this could be a preamble to a launch of something that may be called the mark. Watch for your meme coins launching that have nothing to do with this now that we've said that.
Yeah, so everything you said is true. I mean, that's what I saw, and I get why people, and this is just the nature of cryptocurrency. It makes sense to apply logos here. Why people are feeling that is because, the Bible understood that word, the mark, and they were you'd get a number or you'd get a mark. Okay, they understood that without living from the heart, that you would move toward logic, that there would be people in your society that were extremely logical, that would come up with a system to organize you under logic, and that would destroy the spirit of man. And then we saw that happen under communism, right? The kind of people who are very drawn to communists are these very logical type people. Okay, because it organizes things like that. But unfortunately, we need to live from the heart, because there is a soul and a spirit within us, right? And communists don't believe this, right? So everything's just logos and stuff like that. And so that's why people are feeling that. And that's fair. That makes sense. But, in certain worlds, like accounting, you want logos, you want math, and you want strict logos. You just don't want it in your daily life necessarily. Bullshit fairy tales, that's retarded. Some people didn't see it. But yeah, it just sounded like crypto to me, like the mark, that's the code is law, so to speak, and, the code is the code, and, the code doesn't lie.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the mark of the beast, and Maria's worshipping his Dark Lord on X. We don't know.
Yeah. And remember, the mark of the beast isn't a big thing with horns. It was just the concept of, this world of logos.
Digital IDs implanted in microchips, man.
I think he's happy. So Inc. 4TW, what's up, man? He says, I think he's happy having his eco built on PDAI while it hit 1.5 billion market cap in 2024 December, and offloading millions on the back of it. So, can you be more clear? Oh, with what you're getting at, is that because a lot of people messaged me too about that too. That it's Richie behind behind all these exploits, and especially PDAI, that he was behind it.
Ego built on PDI. I think he's probably talking about Atropa.
Yeah, what are you talking about, buddy? Yeah, be a little more specific. We can talk about it because they milked the narrative and made shitload doing so. Who's they? Shizoid. What do you get? It goes way back. He's part of the crew. Who's part of the crew? When the hacker got exposed a few days ago, he panic dumped. He's part of the crew. Okay. Oh, Maria's part of the hacking crew. So curious why Maria hasn't taken action to de-risk bonded, PDI, PwC, and others. Makes me scratch my head. Okay, because Maria is part of the extraction crew. But trust,
I don't think we know
Abdullah
that in regards to this particular event. You know, like he could be, like he's a dev, but like.
Maria's calling. P-Dong. Richard would show me if there was any little thought of being exploited. Caddy and Surf and his hacker move differently. These guys milk it, whereas Caddy instantly nuked. Where's Caddy and Surf? What happened? They like vanished, right? Everyone who gets money, they just vanish out of PulseChain. They come in, they hit it.
I think they're still hanging around, maybe, but they're not very loud.
Okay, got you. Hey, Wolf, why is everyone butthurt with such small liquidity pools? And much better. I don't know the answer to that. Community discussed these issues for the fork and launch PulseChain. Fair enough, KD. Yeah, that's true. They did. Just a narrative, really, with the whole world. Yeah, let's see if Ink. Did you give me some clarity here? Art Angel, it's fucking retarded. Only on PulseChain this shit happens. This level of speculation, gentlemen, you are articulated beautifully. Yes, logos. Love. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Christopher Gleason. Yeah, I can really go deep into that subject a lot, but it's not for this video. Richie should honestly just fork this chain with all the crap. Fork it. We had a fork of Ethereum. No, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm waiting for
It's
Ink.
been talked about in like the Builders Guild and stuff. I don't think it's likely to happen. I've never heard Richard talk about it.
Good Lord.
But like the amount of money and trust that would be lost by that action versus just riding through little blips like this compound thing. Like at this point, like, yeah, we're good. And even the PDI thing, like if there wasn't a narrative around it of like hardcore true believers, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Right? It was only a big deal because people kept feeding the dude who was extracting. If they'd stopped feeding him like, oh, like PDI's hacked, let's not buy it anymore, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah. That was fucking weird, man. So someone said Maria made PDI what it is.
That's crazy.
Can Dev not take a milli? No, I think Maria moves correctly. I look at the way people move, and Maria does move. That's why I'm not freaked out, because the way they move is very transparent. They do everything right in front of you. Maria, when they extracted, they waited till the top. They did it at a certain time. Everyone had a chance to do what they did.
Yeah. There was a 5-hour live stream of extracting, if I recall.
Yeah, and they got paid.
It was extremely public.
If you look at stuff like other people, like let's say what Firewhale, what he did was we had a thing called Solid X, and he just extracted, like just pulled after it had completely dumped too, and people had been building positions and what have you. And like you see how what Maria does it's not, I'm not going to say it's benevolent, but I don't see anything bad. It's very like transparent. It's very clear. They paid themselves. They thought the bull run was over, and they were in a way correct. We've been in a bear market since. There's nothing wrong with them doing what they did in a lot of ways, right? They didn't destroy any of the assets at all. Okay, they were very clever about the way they did it, and they paid themselves because this person's been working around the clock, right? Other people, when you see they extract, the token's gone. The community's decimated, and the reputation is destroyed of that person because these people are extractors. So when you see these other people in the other charts, the way they do it, they have no interest in the community or supporting the token they made or anything. I don't see any of that in Maria's behavior. All the tokens are great. The charts look fine. The way they did it was clever because otherwise I would spot it in 2 seconds. I knew something. I'm not going to get into other creators' tokens, but I can spot weird stuff in 2 seconds. And the way Maria moved assets off, the way they sold, the amount they sold it was amazing because the charts are still healthy in a lot of ways. Even though there was huge selling, they're still very healthy. PDI is weird, but besides PDI, PWBTC, Atropa, some other ones that they were dumping, I don't have issues with the charts, man. They just went into the bear market with everything else naturally. There was nothing weird that I was like, what the fuck is that? I never said that one time. I just couldn't spot any of those moments, and I can see them. I can spot, like, you know, when this X game, Solid X, I could spot that shit from a mile away. I'm like, something's wrong. This is not normal opportunist move. This is some kind of plot. You know, you can see the stuff. And I still like Maria's work. I know it's a contentious point. Not everybody does. Some people do think they are malicious, but I don't see it in the charts. I don't see malicious movements in the charts. I can spot malicious stuff. Same thing with Pulse, where I was telling you, like, I know that there's was it the other whale that everybody hates, Rackham, right? Was the other big whale in the chain. He's been dumping, or Richard's been dumping. Well, whatever it is, they've been dumping, and the chart looks natural. So I don't have any problems. But when I can spot really unnatural, weird stuff in 2 seconds, man. I really can. I can spot it a mile away. And I don't see problems with the way they move. Even Rackham, like, yeah, he's dumping and stuff like that, but he's not, like, destroying anything.
It's his to dump, right?
It's his to dump.
He bought it,
yeah.
effectively.
And the chart's moving, like, we just broke down the whole chart. It's just in a downtrend, and it's still fine, still holding support. So, and Atropa, same thing. Chart looks great. For as much as people are saying Maria did all this damage, I just don't see it in the fucking chart. Don't. They paid themselves. They sold some shit, and the way they did it was smart. They divided it up. They didn't wreck anything. They didn't. You know what I mean? Which no one else does. You see all the whales that have extracted and left, or like, they destroy shit, and they destroy people with it, and then they leave nothing they leave nothing behind them. Okay, that's never happened with Maria at all, and they're still back here working again. So could they be the extraction team? I think somebody was saying that, causing this compound thing. I don't think so. It could be an insider, but I don't know if it's them, man. Got taken off chain with the whole PDI narrative.
It could be. It could be a lot of people, right? Like, could be somebody that we know, that we see on the screen, or like, more likely it's like dev number 472 that we, like, nobody's ever met, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know, that knows a little something about compound and found there was an opportunity, right? Like, there's guys who do stuff like this. There's guys that do audits whose skills would be transferable to, you know, stuff like that. And, like, I don't think technically they committed a crime in this case, right? Nor did the PDI guys. Like,
and we know
that the functions are there. They're smart contracts. They use the functions. You need specific knowledge to pull it off. Like, try to do anything on a contract, like, that you don't know about. It's really hard, right? Like, so, like, yeah, I don't know. This stuff happens, but, like,
yeah, and we know that
there's no reason to tie it to Maria.
Yeah, and they've shown they have no trouble selling stuff in front of us to pay themselves. So why would they steal 50, whatever they were stealing? It doesn't make sense.
No.
And
the time it would take to do this may not be worth their time, and especially somebody like, for Richard to figure this out so he could get 500K. That would come on, like, mostly come out of his own pocket anyway, because that's where it's, like, extracted through, would be Pulse. Like, there's zero reason, right?
No.
Like,
there's so many smart people on this chain. It could be anybody or a group of people that know this chain really well.
And with AI, the stuff, the level required gets lower. Like, 2 years ago, the list would have been very short, and now with AI, the list could be a lot bigger.
Really? So
for sure.
Ink4 says, why was Caddy buying up Atropa after they nuked PDI? I don't understand the context, bro. You got to give me a full thing here. He said, estimated 25 million got taken off the chain with the whole PDI narrative. Yes, it did. That sounds correct. Yeah, it was. Somebody says, no, it wasn't that much. I don't want to get into that debate right now. But, no, I think Atropa's fine here, though. It could go lower. I think you're fine. Christopher Gleason being, because I think lows are coming in. We're still going to have, like, hopefully a move to the upside before we go down. But job market is coming down. It is falling apart. He said, I wouldn't say there was anything wrong with Atropa, but he fed his eco off PDI, which was a cancer. Okay, so when you say he, you mean 414?
Must be.
Okay. You guys got to type clearly. You got to give everything in your thing so everybody understands. I wouldn't say there was anything wrong with Atropa, but 414, I'm guessing that's what you meant, fed his eco off PDI. Yeah, they were heavily intertwined because
they still are liquidity-wise.
Because it's obvious they didn't anticipate this PDong person, whoever it was, right? That's the assumption, right? I think they were surprised as well. And this,
Yeah, well, that's when that extraction video from Maria came, is when the whole PDong event went down, right?
Yeah, it was shortly after. Yeah, so I think they were protecting themselves. A lot of people were like, that makes Maria bad. I'm like, no, I don't think so, man. I think they were protecting themselves in their work, and everything they did it right in our face. And like I said, they protected the chart, so they divvied up their cells very correctly, which showed a lot of care and genius, because anybody else would have just dumped everything without thinking. Like, they didn't do that. All the charts looked fine.
There's still $18 million of liquidity between PDI and Atropa.
That's phenomenal.
So
that's
like,
phenomenal.
You know, like he didn't extract all of that, and he's still holding on to, you know, something. Then I don't know how much of it's burnt or anything like that, but like, you know, there's definitely a connection there. I suspect Maria got in on PDI very early. Probably one of the original big holders.
Yeah. Somebody says, why was Caddy buying up Atroka after they nuked Atropa? I didn't know Caddy was buying it. That's the same way I see.
I remember that right after PDI nuked was some of the funds that he or she extracted, they bought some Atropa.
So, guys, Atropa, and I've said this before, somebody's buying Atropa. It's a very strong chart. Charts don't do this if people are not... and it's funny, how long ago did I draw this chart? The reason is because you can see the strength in the chart. Now, it doesn't mean we can't have a big dump or it couldn't go a little lower.
We're still looking at the at the X.
So if you're telling me that this dev was buying Atropa, that means a smart person, and I'm telling you, this could be your biggest mover on PulseChain. It's $20 million market cap. I think it's going to do unbelievable fucking numbers. I wouldn't doubt Maria when they say like $7, or I don't remember what they said. Like, I think it could do something insane, and somebody likes it because it stays quite strong. Okay, even through all that it's been through. It's going to make a big move up again soon, man. Whenever we're ready to move. I'm still very confident about it. I still like it. You know, this was obviously that big disaster area with PDI and everything, right? And the recovery from it was pretty beautiful, you know? Yeah, I mean, we could kick on like a MACD as well. Let's see what's going on here. On the weekly. Do we have anything here? We don't got anything here. Dude, this reversal is going to be insane. Okay. Yeah, it looks good, man. This is still one of my more favorite ones after the course, okay? Only because I go off the chart, right? I know that narratives are also important too, but this has a lot behind it, right? This is also tied with PWBTC and the whole PDI world and that, so it's going to be also a benefactor of the PDI people who are, you know, they're going to come out pumping PDI like crazy as well. Let's read a little bit more of this fast. What do you think? Answering these questions.
Sure.
Yeah. That's why Atropa ran.
There's some other posts there too from CryptoSolve if you want to look at some more recent ones.
Did you send it to me or just on the connected to what you had already sent? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, just if you go to the top of his profile.
Okay.
You know, like his last 3-4 posts, he's hit on that subject, I think. Let me just take a quick look.
Okay, we'll check it out. Let me.
I also have not done a deep read on this, but
right now, look at the. What did you guys say? That's why Atropa ran, because they scammed PDI, nuked, and bought up Atropa. That's why the second run was. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting, bro. Okay. Oh, interesting.
Atropa is very is super connected to PDI by liquidity, right? Like almost all the liquidity is with PDI. So it's almost giving, it's almost the same community whether you want it to be or not.
Why not unload and sell off the whole BTC stack like a true hacker? Well, I think that if it was somebody outside the ecosystem, what percentage did get dumped of that PWC that the hacker got? You said half?
Supposedly 50K is what CryptoSolve said initially. So
what's the percentage?
It's a small margin, but dumping the chart like that, that's like a Nigerian scammer move. Because they steal the keys to your wallet, then they just dump everything you had instantly. This is a more sophisticated player.
But
right?
What percentage?
This wasn't a one-day job.
What percentage have they dumped? About roughly?
Well, it's 0.5%.
That's it?
Let's see.
He says 14, another 50K successfully benevolenced off chain. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like half a percentage or something.
So he has how many millions left of WBTC to dump?
1.7 million was the initial take, right?
And he only sold 50K?
And he only sold 50K.
14
so
hours
of course,
ago.
like if he completely nuked everything he had from that hack, he would only have like 500K, right? Like with the current liquidity situation,
because
probably less now since Richard pulled liquidity on the V1 pair.
So before Richard pulled liquidity, he only would have gotten about 500K because of liquidity.
Yeah.
So now,
and that like it might be half that now. It might be 250K.
So guys, check this out. There's got to be you got to think about this. If it was genuinely really somebody outside, I think they would have dumped all of it and vanished by now. So it could be somebody on this chain who knows it well and knows that eventually this could pump. It's possible.
It sees there's enough communities here that they could, or at least that they could extract like $1,000 a day indefinitely and have way more money, right? Because I'm sure that the numbers have gone down a bit, but like we're looking at, we're still looking at $270 per PWBTC. Their initial take was over 6,000 of them, I think. So like they could over the course of 6,300 PWBTC.
Jesus Christ.
6,300 times about what, $270?
I gotta start drinking again, dude. I quit smoking. I gotta start smoking again.
Good.
You guys are gonna kill me.
No. Start drinking, but don't start smoking.
I've had like one cigarette in 2 months. It's been pretty good.
Not bad.
But it's shit like this, man.
Yeah.
Because now my concern is, why didn't they dump it all, or at least half? Because that makes me think like, oh, it's kind of an inside job. Doesn't mean it's the dev team. That's not what I'm saying. Though some people have suggested that. It's people that know Compound well and also knew this from the beginning because of P-copy stuff. It could just be someone who's smart. We have a lot of smart people that aren't loud. You don't even know who they are. They're just smart dudes who are, that have figured this shit out.
It's somebody that knows liquidity well too, right? That knows that they could sell $1,000 a day indefinitely and extract the full $1.7 million. Or right now today they could take 250 grand, right? So it's one of those questions like, do you want $1 a day for the rest, $1 a minute for the rest of your life, or do you want $1 million right now, right? And no, I'll take the $1 a day, $1 a minute, thanks, right? But they understand liquidity enough, and they probably understand there's a community here. So it's probably somebody who's in our Telegram rooms that's on X, right? That we don't necessarily know them, but they're watching. They're aware that this is a thriving community, and it won't just go away, even if they did dump the chart. So they're better off slow rolling it.
That's what
They'll
I'm
get
saying.
Way, way more.
That's why I feel
more.
like I need a drink, because I don't even want to think about that, but it's true. It probably is. Otherwise, I think they would have dumped a lot more, at least
It's
half.
not that, if they do that, how bad is it though, right? Like, let's say this guy sells $1,000 a day, which suppresses this chart to stay about where it is
You're
for the next 6
assuming
months.
the price is going to stay at $270. So somebody who's hacked in might just be like, oh, I better sell it now before this altcoin goes to zero.
Yeah. Unless they understand that this is it's not going to go to zero because it's part of a bigger system.
Then that's what I'm saying. That's what's bothering me. Now I know it's probably somebody who actively is here on PulseChain because they know.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. And to know your way around PulseChain and the copied contracts, even the experience of learning what you'd have to learn to be able to do this, you'd be indoctrinated basically. So
right.
I guess congratulations, we made a new whale.
Yeah, we made a new whale.
Hopefully this guy's rich from hacking stuff on Ethereum and it brings some more money over. We could paint a pretty picture if we wanted to. I just don't think it's actually attached to anything good. Best case scenario, it's not that bad though. It's really not. There's not enough money there to wreck anything except for those very specific assets. We got 2-3 things that this guy could wreck if he wanted to. But there's lots of people who could wreck lots of other coins individually as well, right? It's not Lots of meme coins could be wrecked by one guy. There's lots of founders that could wreck their own coin if they want to. Some of them do, some of them don't. So it's, it's relative.
So somebody said during the ESM shutdown, Caddy and Surf Team took control of Maker, minted billions, nuked for a few milli. They instantly bought up Atropa, a lot of it. Hey Saint, you mentioned many times that you are more bullish on Atropa versus PTGC. Why? Well, it's not a versus anybody else. I know, once again, another contention point. I just feel like I've been here long enough to go like, well, I probably trust Maria the most. I don't think they would rug pull and leave. That's it. That's the only reason. I mean, it's not. I don't have anything against anybody of the team. I just genuinely like Maria. I don't have a problem with them. I know some people do, but I just don't. I think they move correctly, and they've been very transparent. So that's it, man.
PTGC's not going anywhere either, right? They have a ton of liquidity.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. And if you
it's
know
a different thing, though.
I just don't know them deeply. I'm not saying, once again, it's not a versus thing. I'm not saying anything bad about any team. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I just like pulling for. That's it. I like Atropa, and
they're different ecosystems. Like they are not connected in a serious way.
And the whales in Atropa are different than the whales in PTGC, right? And sometimes it's also the charts. Like I like certain charts. Atropa chart is awesome looking. Yeah. These amazing gentlemen are trustworthy, continue the hard work, and it'll pay off. Why do you refer to this as extraction when a core is sold for shots? No, fucking use their money as sack. They have a full right to sell, not minters. Yeah, anybody can sell. I don't even get mad. Like people, people. Rackham might be a jerk and things he says, but he can sell whatever he wants. He sacked. He can sell. That's why I was pissed at the Hex thing too. A lot of people were like, Richard did this thing to protect. I'm like, bro, he made the protocol and people are using it the way he designed it, and he's doing this thing to it.
And it's immutable code. Code can't be changed, right?
Can't be
it's
changed.
never done anything that it wasn't designed to do on day one.
He won't nuke it. He's smart to milk it and hold PWDC. Yeah, he is. Well, that's what we just discussed, the fact that it's probably somebody in the community. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't hold it. You just assume that it's going to zero because it's not Bitcoin, so you would dump it as fast as you could, for sure.
Best case scenario, it's a community member whose goal is to acquire more other tokens, right?
Yeah.
And then it'll just wash around. It'll be like, to the chain as a whole, it would be a net neutral if most of that money flows from PWBTC to Pulse to Atropa to whatever other tokens this guy is into. Or maybe he's bullish on PWBTC. If I suddenly had a bag of 6,000 PWBTC, I might become a bull too. We can't say, but he could also dump it to zero tomorrow, and we have zero credentials to say he won't. So yeah.
My team is holding. I made money. Christopher Gleason says, "Wolf, don't drink, don't smoke." Okay, tell you what. Let me have a drink. I won't smoke though, because I don't. Luckily, I don't keep cigarettes around me anymore. And but if you're gonna drink alcohol, consider blending it with purple cabbage, water, and rice vinegar. You know what's fucking crazy? I have a drink that I've made up, and it's I take I call it wolf's blood. Okay, and I'll tell you what it is. I take red fermented beet. It's like a Slavic drink. Okay, that I love out here. You can get the cabbage one. What's like white? You guys have probably seen it if you've been to this part of the world. And the red one's beet. So I get the red one, which is that purple cabbage? No, it's beets. So, but it's close. Fermented,
yeah.
And I pour it in half a shot glass, and then I do the other half with tequila, and I call it wolf's blood. And you can also use vodka. So when the girls are over here, because they're all Slavic girls, I give them the vodka version. And it looks like blood because this fermented beet makes it kind of thicky, like hemoglobin-ish. And I think it's fucking delicious. And I'll drink this thing, dude. And you could put it in a glass, cut it with water too, if you want to sip on it or something. But it is fucking amazing. And I love the way I feel after I drink. I'm going to go make one right now, actually. I'll show you guys how to make it. Or unless you watch it. Because I'm just about to have a drink anyway. I don't need anyone to believe me. My team is negotiating and we'll expose them and throw them under the bus. He's talking about governments who'll end up in Colombia. So Inc4TW says it's 9 Iron Capital. That guy's a scumbag and has manipulated this many people. He's a smart guy. So, like I said, like we were just talking, could be somebody in PulseChain who's smart. And there's a laundry list goes on forever who's very smart over here.
Yeah.
End of the day, Wolf, we're here to make money. If you can trade Atropa, great, go for it. I don't blame you. PGC has a few wallets at the top with an unbelievable amount of the supply. PGC isn't without its own risk. Yeah. I've looked. There's some massive whales there. Yeah. Love hearing you talk positive about Maria, my favorite dev and PulseChain of the mile. Once again, I don't have anything against, and I'll trade PTG again. I traded it before. We always covered it. I'll trade it again. No big deal. St. Tranquil's blood. Yeah. Perfect time for a cocktail? Okay, let me go grab it. I'll be right back. I'll leave the camera on. I'll make it for you guys. I'll make it right in front of you.
Doing some, what's it called when you mix drinks? Mixology? Mixology. Turn on. Been to the Czech Republic, but I've never drank anything with fermented beets in it. To date. Next time.
I can actually switch to the little camera, but I can make it right here. All right. What's going on, everybody? Smash the like button. We're going to make a drink. Everyone who's out there right now, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get your drinks ready. So I'm going to make it in this glass. I've never made one live before. Now, this is it. It's called Vituv Zakvash. See if we can get this on here. Okay.
Oh, looks very Czech.
Yeah, it's very Czech. Okay, this is one of my...
It's thick, too, eh?
Yeah, it's like blood, dude. It's fermented. And once again, the white one is the cabbage juice. Okay, I drink this every morning with water before I have my coffee. And it looks like blood, dude. See the foamy, thick, it sticks to the glass. It's very...
It totally does.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. This is a diet that suits me, this part of the world. I don't know what it is. Oh yeah. It's amazing. All right. So I'm going to make it with Himador. Now, obviously, the Slavic way would be with vodka, but tequila just suits me. I love tequila. It's peppery. It kind of has a more iron, brings an iron flavor to it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, like half a shot. Okay, got like half a shot in there. Tequila. All right. I've earned the drink, he says.
And this beet stuff has alcohol in it. Like it's
no.
fermented.
It doesn't have alcohol. No. Doesn't have, guys, it doesn't have alcohol, right? No, I don't think it has alcohol. It's pickled, fermented.
Pickled. Okay, pickled.
Where they I think they soak the beets in water and it ferments, or the cabbage was the white one. Okay, so I'm going to put some in here. Okay.
Is it salty?
Yeah. Yeah, it tastes like blood. Well, when you mix tequila with it, it does, I think. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can even get this stuff where you are. I mean, I never knew about this stuff.
I don't think it's not on the shelf at the grocery store.
Okay.
Though maybe I'll look closer at the ethnic aisle.
Now, this has some tequila in it. Now, can it just not see my face? Okay. Look how thick that is.
Oh, yeah. Super thick.
And when you put it in a shot glass, the way it creeps on the sides, it looks like, because it's a small, narrow, it looks like blood. All right. And so I call it wolf's blood. So this is my shot. I love this shot. Now, obviously, you can't really get this at bars because, well, no, I don't think anyone has this fermented drink. I'm going to put a little water because I'm going to sip on it. I'm going to do a shot. So let's see how that goes. So cheers, everybody. There's some wolf's blood.
Cheers.
Oh, it's fucking delicious. It's so good, man. So it's funny somebody mentioned that mixing these fermented drinks with alcohol is supposed to be good for you. Because I love the way I feel when I drink this. We're getting snow here in Texas. Nice. You're in the drink wolf. Yes, I'm talking about governments around the planet. Bro, what the fuck? We're praying for... Fermenting is all about nitrous oxide. The plants have nitrates when chewed with vinegar. Okay. I don't know. I just know I feel good when I drink it. I have a shot of that beet stuff in the mornings, too. Most people have no idea.
Beets would have lots of antioxidants, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's probably part of it.
Secret says drink water. Shut the fuck up. We can supercharge the nitrous oxide. Biochemistry is valuable. Enjoy it. Thanks, man. All right. Wolf's blood. So good. All right. There's only like half a shot of tequila, by the way. It's not even a full shot. I'm not over here getting sloshed, okay? All right, so what else are we looking at on the crypto solve?
Let's see. So went through that one. He shows the $50,000 the guy sold and bridged off. A couple other smaller sales from the same wallet, like.
Okay. I'm in Dracula mode. Beetroot extract, great for the heart. Oh, cool. Yeah, this PulseChain stuff has not
Talks
been
about how the guy exploited a broken contract and bridged out. Yeah. He doesn't sound like he's a fan. And he talks about how the liquidity was pulled. He shows it was pulled for more than just PWBTC. He also shows Link, so one of the other assets that guy had. And that's tied to like the OA account, like the PulseChain deployer. He makes fun of people who are buying it. Gives this guy more exit liquidity.
In Wolf's chat blew this thing open. JD, who's JD? Where's JD? JD in Wolf chat. Oh, in Telegram group?
Yeah, we got JD's in this chat.
Where?
Too. Or KD, rather. KD.
Oh, KD, you meant to say.
Maybe. But I'm looking in your chat. Let me see if there's a JD in there. There is a JD.
JD? No, I don't see a JD, man.
In the Telegram group, there's a JD.
Oh. Are they talking about this issue? JD.
I haven't found it yet if they are. They appear to be an active member, though.
They
are a bit. They posted some stuff.
I said, JD, this is an impressive thank you. Has anyone wondered why 558 ETH coins were left in the public wallet of the SAC funds? Is that JD? Not me. Okay, it's not KD.
Yeah, there is a JD in there, and he does talk about the compound. He's got a...
no, JD and the TG. Okay, yeah. Okay,
list of the contracts. Yeah, he looks like he's done more research. He knows, so he talks about the time locks for the different things. Yeah, he's done some research.
So, Gleason, you think wine is better? That's what I used to always drink on stream, red wine. I have that too. There's a JD. Yeah, we found the JD. You got a KD. What's up, Fotino? Long time no see. You want me to pull that? You sent me a link for something?
I sent you his, looks like the main post he did in your chat that breaks down some of the details. It's not things most people will understand.
Okay.
But he breaks down the attack, how they took over the time lock.
Oh, the players. Yeah, I remember this. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Shady. I do remember this.
How they drained the funds by taking control of the protocol. So he has a good, strong understanding.
Okay. Can I move this picture over to a page? No, I can't. So, TLDR. Attacker took complete control of Compound's governance system on PulseChain and drained 6,295 PWBTC plus other assets. The players: time lock, comment, attacker's executor, drainer wallet, background, proposals, voting. He explains that a little bit. The attack: he took over the time lock. Attacker submits governance proposal with hidden action. Proposal passes. Voters didn't catch the malicious action. Wait for time lock, 2 to 7 days. Then he executes proposal. Attacker calls, accept admin. Approve the token spending. Time lock executes. Wow, time lock executes. Attacker's drainer contract now spend all the collateral and comment, drain the funds, drain comp, test. This is amazing that people figure this shit out.
Yeah. things like that time lock, like that would have been one of the things on Ethereum that would have stopped this from happening. Because like time locks are put on DAOs so that when an action is take place, like withdraw all tokens, like if a DAO puts forward a vote like that and it's malicious, then it gives them, oh, there's a 48-hour time lock, 48 hours before it actually happens. It gives the team and other participants in the DAO a chance to stop that action, because they'd be like, oh, hey, this is like a hacker got all these tokens. We need to whatever they can do to override that the function the hacker is doing. So like, but nobody's watching the compound time lock on PulseChain. But on Ethereum, like there would have been alarm bells going off if the same thing had happened.
Hey, Saint or Fast, which would you prefer to bag? Hodl shark bag of Atropa or Peacock?
I'm not big into either.
No,
diversification's good.
Peacock is Liberty Swap, and I think you were a big fan of them last we talked, aren't you?
I like what they do. I like the protocol, right? Like that the service that they offer. Peacock is a meme coin that was launched on Pump.Tires that they have adopted, and they've, I think, since been using some of their protocol fees to buy and burn it. So that's bullish. But there's no guarantee that they'll continue to do that, or that, you know, or in the direction this token is going to go. I think it's done very well, and I think they are beneficial players. You know, like they're building tech for PulseChain, like heavy lifting stuff that doesn't have, you know, a ton of rewards attached to it. So, but like it is, bottom line, it's a meme coin from Pump.Tires that's not in any sort of a smart contract, but that team has chosen to support it. So as long as they support it, I think it will do well. But it's not, you know, it's not a guaranteed thing.
It's a nice looking chart. It's a fine chart, man.
Yep. And they've done extremely well developing a very substantial, effective social media presence on X in particular, right? So you got to remember that nobody knew what Liberty Swap was a year ago, right? Like no idea, right? One day, Richard Hart mentions it, which is the first time I heard of it. He just said something like, check this out. Like he didn't like endorse it, but like he barely ever does that. So which led to lots of speculation. I'm sure we had some speculation here that he might be involved, and so on and so forth. I since don't think he's involved. They clearly support things he does not. But I think they're good players. But they are like an undoxed team, you know, who's, you know, touching a lot of money. So I think everybody has to look at all the arguments and decide what to do. But as far as Peacock goes, like it has burnt liquidity against Pulse. It was launched on Pump.Tires, Richard's platform. And it wasn't launched by them, I don't think, but I could be wrong. But they've adopted it, and it's done very well because of that adoption, because of their social media presence, and because of them actively buying it with their protocol funds.
Oh, you guys couldn't see the chart. I was charting Peacock. Thank you, Claudia. Okay, I hear you.
Somebody just mentioned in the chat that Liberty Swap's incorporated Railgun, which is a huge privacy rail. So like there's now way better options to get onto PulseChain without people knowing that you got onto PulseChain because of Liberty Swap. It's a huge service.
Okay, let's look at the Dixie. Oh shit, my target's getting close to be hit, man. So my theory on the Dixie was this, guys, and it's still playing out. It hasn't completed yet. You can see where my drawing is. You guys see that, right? Okay. So this is a trend line for the Dixie. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. Once again, I'm not a Dixie master guy. I just look charting this like I would anything else, okay? Turn this off. Okay. So we talked about before that it's come down. All right. And yeah, I need to come to here actually. Okay. So this is a very bullish. You can see how strong it was into the bear market at the end of 2022. You can see the bull run this was probably March 2020, makes sense, and the bull run happened here, like our big bull run, right? So Dixie went all the way from 103 all the way down to 89, okay, and then ended down here January 2021, and then we got the second top, right, or something, and then we go. And this was the bottom of the bear, October 2022, because January 2023, Bitcoin began an epic bull run, okay? So this was that epic bull run from 15K and up. And then we've kind of had the bull run chopping through here. It's kind of been a weird bull run, right? And then what happened here at September 2024, we had the last bit of the bull run, the end of it almost, actually, because it ended with Trump launching a meme coin, which I had a feeling that could be the top, which was January 2025. And we've been kind of down ever since, all right? But the Dixie's also been coming down, all right? The Dixie's also been coming down because stock market's been running hard, metals, what have you, and Dixie's been weak. Now, here we are now, okay? So I just put a resistance line from here coming down, and my theory was that, in general, this is bullish, though, it doesn't look great right now. But to be honest, I could see it hitting this, which is just this line of resistance, and as long as we don't break these, we touch down, we got a triple bottom, and it could go bullish, right? So I've had this drawing before. It was over here. And then what happened is the Dixie, it's still been playing out longer than we thought, right? Because I had it here thinking we'd get our bull run around December. Around the Santa rally or whatever. So we just slid it over, and it still applies. All right, wherever I had it. It still applies. And I thought that we would collapse from here. This would be the rest of the bull run as this came down, would touch on here, and then it could get bullish and go off. Now, the truth is, equities have been going up on this. They've been very bullish. We can look at the S&P or a couple assets, and you can see that it's running. It's just crypto's not running, which has been a lot of the frustration of crypto people, because they've been like, why is everything going up except crypto? Like, how's that possible, right? That's been a big kind of the DJ. This is Dow Jones Transportation Index. This is letting you know that the market has been very bullish. The economy is looking really strong. It did not fall apart, right? Now, could we be hitting a triple top, or maybe we're about to get a reversal? Yeah, absolutely. It's stalling out a little bit here. It could be a reversal point, but you can see, once again, DJI also, it's just going up still, right? I got to make my lines, like we're still going up here. And so the DXY is reflecting that. And I think it could come a little bit lower, because this could be a touch point. But we could also be there too. You got to remember, there's also horizontal lines as well, right? So, I could put a line right there, and call that as a horizontal. So we don't have to come all the way down. But to me, I just thought that was a very strong possibility, hoping we got a crypto bull run in here as well. Doesn't have to happen. Like, maybe equities have run, the bull run's there. Maybe this is ready to go up. Was somebody saying that this looks bearish? Is that what somebody was saying? The map out is top notch. Wolfcamp. The map out is top notch. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. Rail is mintable. I don't know what that railgun something. I don't know what that means yet. All the privacy.
Yeah, I think maybe like the token for railgun is mintable, but I don't think that affects
selling dollars
anything that Liberty Swap is doing. They haven't launched a token with their railgun fork. Maybe they plug in Peacock, which is totally possible. You can add an existing token into a new contract. Doing it myself. I wouldn't.
This move could be finished. This move could also be finished. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly where I had it drawn originally. Like, maybe the line was actually kind of here-ish, right? So you have to anticipate, and that would give you confluence with what I think is a strong level horizontally, which is right here. You got a lot of confluence right here that this move down on the Dixie could be wrapping up, which means the Dixie could be getting bullish. Because even though we're oversold on crypto, you guys have to understand that equities are not oversold, that gold metals are not oversold. Everything is cranking. Sometimes we have to step out of our bubble and realize what's happening economically. Now, could there be last juice in the tank and we get another run for Bitcoin? Sure, we could. There may be enough time for that last push up to, once again, destroy all the shorts, which if we're going to get a drawdown, they're going to want to do anyway. At least a pull up to 100K, 100 to 107K-ish. Without looking at charts, I have to check. That's very possible, right? And it doesn't mean alts and everything have to go, right? Like, This move could be done. Like, it doesn't have to be where I had it, where we're triple bottom. That's just an idea, target. But we could be wrapping up the move on the Dixie. And to me, this still looks like an ABC correction, and this could turn bullish very easily from here. Like it could absolutely go that way. At least until like this range and then get rejected from there. But it doesn't look bearish to me. I mean, once again, I'm not a Dixie master. I'm not like, in-depth Dixie guy. But, I mean, it looks bullish to me. Am I wrong? Yeah, I know there's a couple of you guys out there that know charts. Am I off on the Dixie here? I had a circle down here. Why did I have a circle down here? Oh.
Good to me.
Yeah. Look, this is like an old chart, man. This is what I had it for the monthly. I'm showing you guys here. This is back in March of 2021. I circled it, okay? And I'm showing you this pattern, okay? I must have done this a few streams ago or maybe in December. I don't remember where, but this is still, drawing is still there, okay? And nothing has changed. You can see this W pop. You're forming, it looks to me like could be another double bottom, okay? And you can see this pattern. It's kind of retesting a little bit, coming down. Can we please just move this for 1 second? Okay, thank you. You can see this over here. And Dixie looks like it could be ready to run up for another high. I mean, right? Like, look over here. It's still circled from I don't know how many streams ago. Doesn't it look like it's going to do that? It doesn't have to. This could go lower. There's no doubt about it. But it doesn't necessarily scream that right now, though it could happen, okay? So I obviously have that circled for a reason because it was probably a warning to go like, hey, man, this could reverse anytime. And so, yeah. But we could go lower. Like we could still double. We could still get these wicks, fill these wicks, which gives us time to push up again. Doesn't necessarily mean alts have to run with that, or ETH even, right? Doesn't mean that. But we could have definitely another Bitcoin push up. Or we do get the alt season. Like, who knows, right? Like maybe they decide that February, March, and April are alt season, and ETH and alts are about to go. Why not? It's possible. It's possible. I'm not going to be against it, but generally, I mean, I guess Dixie could fall apart and come down here, and I suppose this could go lower on the MACD, but we can see what's the history of how low does this go? Yeah, this could come down lower. It could go lower. It doesn't have to be ready to pump. It could reverse, right? New catalyst could show up. The media cycle could spin a little differently coming up soon, and we could absolutely dump the dollar soon. No dicks whispers here. Okay, good. Your shirts are good, Wolf. My shirts or charts. Charts are close enough. Thanks. Close enough. Oh man, I don't want to hear that when it comes to charts. Yeah. What's Mara doing? This is a mining stock. Okay. Kind of looks bullish. Is it on? Oh, let me turn this up.
Mining stocks are always super risky. They're very like crypto.
Yeah, but they let you know, right? Meta.
There's going to be a lot of stocks moving into crypto, I think. Like tokenized stock exchange type thing. There's been a lot of talk about that. It's kind of happened. There are already, like, you can buy Apple stock on Solana or whatever. I think that trend is going to continue, and eventually, they'll kind of be one and the same.
Okay, so Monster.
Likewise, you can buy art, like crypto assets on the stock exchange now too, basically, or representatives of them. You know, they got the EFTs, stuff like that.
I mean, this is MicroStrategy, right? It's got to be ready for... Oof. It's got to bounce here. So maybe we get a big juicy rally here soon. It's fucking weird. Yeah, not the best looking thing, huh? So in the 2 months. Oof. 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 MicroStrategy. I want to say it looks like I want it to bounce, but may not want to. Let's go look really quick at video. Dude, holy shit. God.
Where Bitcoin goes, MicroStrategy follows, right? Or is it the other way around?
I mean, more MicroStrategy grows, Bitcoin follows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I hope it goes up.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily giving those signals.
Looks pretty toppy, doesn't it?
This one's NVIDIA. Now this is NVIDIA. What we were looking at was MicroStrategy.
Okay.
I switched it. Yeah. So MSTR was here. It's already. Yeah. Yeah.
Or less happy.
And this is 2 months, and you can see we got a pretty bad cross here. And 2 months charts are pretty accurate, right? Generally, anything's possible, but man, this is.
Well, these are big money charts too, right? So it's more stable data.
So it's not looking great, right? NVIDIA, is it toppy? It's impossible to say. I've been pushing it up forever, but I mean, could it go up more? I think that
NVIDIA is kind of a one-trick pony, right? Like, they make those chips. If China starts making the chips, what happens to NVIDIA?
Amazing. Fucking amazing. Good God. I mean, we're in irrational territory. Is it cooked? Is it done? It could be. I mean, you got definitely volume's a lot lower. You can see down here. It's definitely a lot lower. It can go on forever, though. I mean, obviously, there's some divergences. You've got, which is normal, which is totally normal. Doesn't mean it's over. You can have divergences for a lot longer than people realize. But at this point now, you've got 10 years of divergences, right? Though not like super extreme, but, they're trending down, right? The energy is in the move. It's trending down for a long time. I think this could be the top-ish. I think we're done. Even if this double tops, you could go up and pass this again. I think the top may be in for NVIDIA. Okay, I'm going to say it now. Top may be in for NVIDIA. Even if we come up again from where we were 187, we could double top at around 211, 220, whatever. Top could be in. So let's go look at Bitcoin now. We kind of did all this backwards today, but we want to talk about this hack. Okay. What do we got on Bitcoin? Just a bunch of pink lines. Why? This is my log chart. What am I doing over here? What's going on? Let's just look at, forget lines, forget trading this. Let's just look to see. Somebody said the Buddha is booked out for the next 5 years. ETH looks extremely bullish. Inverse head and shoulders forming on the monthly. ETH's been bullish forever, man. That's not accurate. Fast. Sorry, fast. Chips, China, not accurate, my friend. Yeah, there's a little bit more to that. China's to catch up in a few ways. Otherwise, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
There's a crash.
Yeah, there's a reason China hasn't done it already. He's right.
China,
if they ever do catch up,
big
trouble. Like, only NVIDIA can make these super high-end chips, which is why they have the big valuation, right? But China's got the rare earth minerals, they got the factories, they just don't have the factory for this stuff. One day, though.
Oh man. Golden Dome is not going to give up the golden age of the golden era. China has backdoor shit. Okay. So I'm on the monthly. Okay. You've got obviously a MACD cross on the monthly. If I go to the... Hello. Okay, do I got to close something? Let me close this. It's a problem. Too many Twitter things open. Okay. So 2 month is weakening, but hasn't crossed yet. It doesn't matter. A bull run would happen quick in a shorter time. That candle's not closed. Go to the weekly. All right, so we know we're under the 50 on the weekly. Here's a 200 down here on the weekly. Okay, we know that when we come back here, when we fall under the 50 and we stay under it, it's generally over, but you need to retest, which I've said many times. Okay, here's a retest at 45, 47K, 48K. Okay, you don't have a retest yet, okay? But you can see the 50 turning over, and the retest would take you, depending on when that happens, around 100K. Okay, we could hit 100K, or there was a lot of resistance here about one right here at the bottom, one of the bottom of these wicks, 107. Okay, that's why I said 100 to 107. So you could just test this, but you could come all the way up here as well to about 107. So in this range, and that would be where people would just assume it's over since it's done that before. And we talked a little bit before about how maybe they fake everyone up and just do a marginally higher high, like around 130, 135 ish. But I'm not worried about that right now. You know, this is kind of a bear flag. We've broken out. We were running an uptrend, and it broke. You know, we keep just flagging this out further. That's fine. It is a bearish pattern, but it's Bitcoin, and it can do whatever the fuck it wants. You can see these divergences went on for a long time. Okay, these bearish divergences have been weakening. Let's look at the 50 and the 200. If we go to the daily, you can see where they are. You can see death cross, bull cross, death cross, cross again. The really bad ones are like this one here. This is a 2-day, okay? So you can see the 50 has gone under the 200. You can see here the 50 went under the 200. Up till then, see this bull run here in 2020? The 50, even though we had this big dump from 64K down to 29K, guys, the 50 stayed above the 200. So smart people knew this wasn't over. They knew there was possibly more coming. But you would have been smart to start de-risking, right? But then we went up and we made another high. Okay, but the RSI stayed very low. I remember this. Okay. You can see here where 50 never went under the 200, 50 never went under the 200, but it's gone under the 200 now. And the only time it did that before was right here in 2022 of March, and it was see you later, goodbye. Where else has it done that? 50 going under the 200, okay? 50 going under the 200 happened here at the zombie apocalypse, okay? But that was a black swan, okay? And we were entering the bull run timing window. We're not exiting. The bull run's technically over, so you have to consider that.
That would have been a great buy.
Yeah, so you have to also understand where you are in the cycle window. All right, we're not entering a cycle. We're technically leaving one. So you obviously had it here, and there was a major downside. It happened very quickly, so the cross happened too late. And obviously, it happened over here somewhere, but we don't have the time to see it. But if you run this line, it would have happened here, and obviously you should have sold because it went much lower from there. So, you know, what could have happened here is obviously it's signaling that there's a lot of bearishness ahead. Okay. Jobs, market sucks, all that too. You guys have seen what's going on, right? They're hiding the data, what have you. Now, all that tells me is that generally, you know, it's over for now-ish. If history is repeating itself, once again, we're just going off probabilities that because we've seen these things play out in the past. But we could absolutely pump up to retest that 100 range. I think we could come up even to around that 107, fake everybody out before we see you later, bye-bye. Or they could even have a short squeeze with like some narrative, and we get some crazy run and a marginally higher high, and we have something unique and different. But then, like I said, I don't think we go as low as people think we do. Maybe it's 65, 69K. somewhere like that, and we do something weird, so everybody waits to buy, and then we erupt when they print money. So we're not going to have a traditional bear market no matter what it is. I don't think so. Like, I don't see all these people waiting for, this to, with time to buy to get what they want before we go up again. I think it's going to be something weird and choppy, and maybe we get just flash crashes. So you have moments to buy, but you're not going to get like a traditional extended bear with some low drawdown, 50% drawdown. Possibly not. Actually, 50%. I mean, 64K to 70K, is almost 50% drawdown from that high of 126, right? So yeah, maybe I am right. Maybe we get that because those are the highs from back here. But I think there's more juice in the tank. I do think we're going to make another rally here on Bitcoin. Do I think Ethereum has time to really run too? It's possible. Maybe Ethereum runs with that. But, RH, if his plan is to pivot Ethereum and all, he doesn't have that much time, possibly. I mean, I suppose if Bitcoin goes and puts a top, it could see later bye-bye, and then alts have time to do some work. So maybe there is some time there, take us in the spring. It's tough to say. One thing I do want to say about this whole Ethereum move is that we had a high before the halving. You have alts randomly going through this last bear market. You had Tron go up in the bear market, kind of, or like the start of the bull run weirdly, and like the other things did some strange things. So like the assumption is, and the elites know this, that crypto people are waiting to pivot from BTC to ETH, from ETH to alts. And they don't necessarily have to let that happen. Like maybe they move some alts when BTC moves. And if they do let ETH move, maybe they do it at the very end after a lot of alts have already moved. Like they have institutions have the power to do this now. Okay, this isn't just raw emotion where now you made a bag and you're going to pivot to ETH, and then from there you're going to pivot to alts. Dude, I hang out with these people, man. Not like currently, but I used to. I know how these people are, man. They're smart chess players. Okay, that's why they dominate, and that's why they have hedge funds and all these. They're not idiots. They're ruthless fucking guys, man. I know these. I've been on these floors. I've hung out at these events in Manhattan and Brickell and Sunday brunches. I know what these guys are like. And they are smart fucking people, man. And the elites could play this any way they want, man. So if RH has a thing that it's going to be a clean repeat of like, cool, well, BTC is going to pump, and then ETH is going to pump, and I'm going to cleanly move that ETH into my alt bag, like, I would be ready for a surprise. I'm just saying strategy-wise and chess player, I would try to think outside the box here. And they are not going to let this be easy. It's obvious. Okay, ETH has been bullish forever. It also looks bearish. I also see a lot of bearish stuff too. But I'm just trusting the cycles at this point. That I do think there's another push up. Is ETH going to do some crazy move? Maybe. But like I said, maybe they move alts. Maybe ADA and whatever the chosen alts are of the elites, they move them, XRP and ADA and whatever else. And hopefully, the Heartman's got to make his move when he sees that. He can't wait for ETH. Because like I said, they may wait for the very end, or they may range ETH until 2027, until the real printing begins, until the real Shemitah, the PMI starts to recover as well, business cycle, right? That's very possible too. Because, when you move an asset like ETH up to, 12K or whatever it could go to, or 7K, or who knows what it could go to, they also have to offload it as well. So you need enough euphoria, enough people with a risk appetite and a net extended period to do that. Okay, ETH is a big money. It's like BTC. It's big, guys. It's not like a little altcoin with low liquidity. It's big. Okay, so I'm just trying to think strategically and more of a game theory. Well, it's like half the guys I know who work in finance, they also play chess regularly. They're just smart fucking people, And these aren't even the guys that really lay these groundworks. I mean, you're talking about the head people at BlackRock and the elite, the hedge funds of hedge funds, like top fucking people. They're figuring out the strategy here, and who knows? Maybe the exchanges are working how they're working at it and strategizing as well, right? So don't assume that it has to do the same repeat of BTC, money rotates to ETH, and then money rotates to alts. Like, dude, I would get that out of your head. Now, if it does that, great. We're all happy, and it's easy because we've seen this cycle before. But do you think that's going to happen? My probability is that they're going to do something really weird, like maybe stuff that is going to go in an order that's very unpredictable and odd. Like Like you had a meme season, and then all of a sudden you get a layer 1 season, and then you get, you know, whatever, and then maybe ETH goes when everybody least expected.
Things that get people offside, right? Like, it can't be too predictable. It just never happens, or we'd all be rich.
Yeah, it repeated already 3 times. They're not going to do it again. And that was that video that Eric Wall was talking to Richard Hart with, and people were making fun of it. Like, Eric Wall didn't understand what Richard Hart was saying. I was like, dude, Eric Wall understood exactly what Richard Hart meant, because I understood. The second I watched that video and Richard Hart was like saying that he's going to do this thing, I was like, nobody in finance would say something like that, because everyone who thinks like that gets their ass handed to them. The second you think you're going to make this predictable move in markets is the moment you get your ass handed to you. So if you think like, well, I'm just going to let this one go up and then do this to this, like, I've never heard a guy on any floor or exchange talk like that, because they know that that second you verbalize something like that is the moment the universe does the opposite. Okay, and so I think Eric Wall was looking at Richard Hart. Can we bring that video up? Because somebody was like bringing it up recently, and Richard Hart made it sound like he was just going to like do this thing that was so predictable, and it is possible that it could happen, that ETH goes before everything, and he's going to get a clean way to. Is this it?
So tell us about your the top developer. So tell us about your the top developers in PulseChain.
Oh, okay.
Are there any ones that?
This isn't the one though. This isn't the interview. There's one of them that people were like talking about recently. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Who posted it?
I think I do. I'm not quite sure where to find it.
Moon King posted it? Somebody posted it. And all I'm saying is that if it does happen, great. But what I'm saying is that, and I think Eric Wall understands, like thinking like that's crazy. Like, you don't know ETH is going to, one, you don't know if ETH is ever going to go up again. 2, you don't know if ETH is going to go up before your asset, you know, in some clean order. 3, you're connecting your asset to an unknown that you just shouldn't do, right? So, you know, maybe if he has other diversifications, like you're buying ETH, but you've also got like this index of gold, like all these things. So in general, your thing goes up and you can rotate. But to say like I'm waiting for this one thing, you know, is a bit like degen. It's very degen. And with the kind of money we're talking about. Now, I do think ETH is going to make its run. I'm just saying I don't know what the time horizon is going to be. They could manipulate it. Like I said, it could go in some weird order, or maybe they just hold out ETH is longer than people realize before they run it to like shake the fuck out of it. Who knows? Well, where is it? I don't. Maybe it wasn't Moon King who posted it.
Yeah, he's mostly talking about Solana these days.
Okay. Somebody had it. Somebody posted it.
I'm looking at Eric's profile, but
who did it?
It's probably not there.
Did somebody send it in my mail? Is that what it was? I don't want you guys to see all my mail. Did somebody send me the clip? Was the video where he said if somebody bought a shitload of ETH, dumped it? Yes, that's the one. Do you know that one? Yeah. And what I'm saying is, it's a good plan, but you're tying your asset to an unknown time-wise. Like, you don't know how long they could range ETH for. You just don't know that. Like,
Richard talks about buying another token like Ethereum, and then using that to pump your new thing, right?
Right.
Which I suspect is probably part of his plan, but yeah, the timelines is the question, right?
Yeah, and like I said, the elites could just decide to run layer 1s first or alts first, or they could manufacture a meme season again without running ETH, and then maybe after everything's done and everyone thinks bear market, ETH runs just ambiguous. And I suppose ETH, Richard Hart could pivot from there, but you don't know the conditions it could run in. It could run into, that's when they could have a black swan or some, launch into the next Iran conflict or whatever. So all markets start dumping. So even if you rotated, all you would see was selling anyway. You're not going to have, bullish sentiment. Sentiment's important. You need why it worked before is because BTC, people would rotate into ETH and then into alts, and there would be like these 3 seasons, and the sentiment was supported for that. And we just don't know because they're using the media and Trump's tweets. They got tweets now from all these politicians and people, and they're manufacturing sentiment and moving it, how they need it. So it would have been better to buy the ETH lower. Yeah, and he bought it at a weird spot, which gives him a very difficult room to move because he bought it into resistance, which was a very strange thing to do. It's not like nobody knows, obviously, the top, but you just don't buy at resistance. It's just a strange thing to do. So he's got less room to maneuver there. Now, I don't know what his bigger game plan is, but, there's some concerns there, right? And I feel like in that interview, some people were making fun of Richard, Eric, and I think Eric understood what he was saying, but I think he understood the folly in that line of thinking. And there is a high folly in that line of thinking. Like, you can't just assume everything's going to go like that. You have to hedge your bet. You have to understand that things could absolutely go against you. The climate could be different. Things could go backward. ETH could be compromised for a bit for some unknown reason. Who knows the myriad of things that can happen that you're now tying yourself to.
If Richard had diversified into, some Bitcoin, for example.
Great example, yes.
We might be having a very different conversation.
Exactly, 100%. And the elites know this. They understand, they understand what you do. That's why I don't use people go like, why aren't you turning on this indicator? Why aren't you turning on? They know we use them. It's not going to help me get alpha when they have AI systems that know you're using Bollinger Bands. They know where those levels are. Like, you see these traders get destroyed. Like, dude, they know where you're doing it. And same thing, they understand your strategic thinking. Just like a good chess player knows a weaker player, that chess player knows what move that weaker player might do on the table. Okay? So in that same way, they know that you're considering, like, looking at ETH, or you're looking at, or for example, with the Bitcoin thing that Fast just said, everybody knew that, the elites knew that everyone was shitting on Bitcoin because last cycle it did a double top. So what did the elites do? They moved BTC and squashed ETH. Okay? And my mentor in 2022 told me that was going to happen. He told me that, like, clearly. He's like, they're going to crush ETH this cycle because they ran ETH hard last cycle, and they kind of made the sentiment shitty for BTC. So all the peasants go like, oh man, fuck BTC. I'm going to invest in ETH ETH this time. So he trapped everybody in ETH, and they moved BTC this time. And they moved BTC. All you had to do was buy and hold the BTC, and you were a winner this cycle, right?
If you bought Bitcoin at 15K, right? I remember looking at it, right? And could have bought Bitcoin at 15K. Done a 6x, and then rotated into alts now. That would have been the ultimate crystal ball play, right? But I don't have a crystal ball.
Right, and that's the problem with tying yourself to stuff, because the elites are in control, and they're not going to repeat shit. They're not going to make it easy. It's just not how they work. They're chess players, okay? And that's why they crushed alts this cycle. So that tells me next cycle, alts are the thing that's probably going to be like amazing, right? Or like could move at the very end. They've been ranging ETH. I can't promise you anything. Like, it looks like it could go bullish, but also, just from my experience, it could absolutely still chop in here for longer. It could. They could bring it back down, chop it again. They could range this for another year if they wanted to, or 6 months. Or they could just, maybe take the high, bring it up to 5K, and drop it again. Like, I don't know. And institutionally, that's good money for them, okay? Because they don't trade the way we do, right? RH had to get that money out of his hands, or the SEC could have gone after it. It was a hot potato. I thought about that Bitfinesse, that there was some reason, he had to do it, and sure, fine. And he thought ETH was the safest place to put it. Fair enough, because we know he doesn't like BTC or whatever it is. But maybe he did diversify. Maybe there's other funds he's diversified elsewhere. You can't blame him. He even admitted of it. It would have been better to buy the ETH lower. Yeah, I mean, it's a much harder cycle. See, a lot of these guys that came up in 2009, they were used to these easy cycles that played out predictably. Institutions are here, man. Ain't gonna play out like that anymore. Those days are over. That's why a lot of the KOLs can't chart anymore, because they cannot handle this irregularity. Okay, they can't handle discrepancies in the chart where you're getting some bullish signals and some bearish signals, and so you have more sophisticated KOLs that can interpret these charts better now, right? But first few cycles, anybody could learn TA in a few months and probably start TAing crypto, right? Or wasn't that easy, but you know what I'm saying, right? They were very predictable moves. Now, why very few people predicted this? Because they're not ready for this level of what's happening, right? So, and I'm telling you here too, it's not so cut and dry, and these people are just masters of manipulating markets, and that's not a bad thing. It's just you can't have the game that easy. It's just the way it is, man.
Just found that clip you're looking for dropped in the chat. Thanks to Arte Suave Angelo.
From the, what's up, brother?
Vision chat.
You the man. Thank you so much. Cool. I'm gonna bring it up right now. And once again, this is just something to think about in terms of like strategy. It's not about right or wrong. It's just, hey man, there's strategy to consider, and assuming ETH is going to do something when we need it to be done is not the best strategy, right? We don't know how it's going to move. So let's hear this clip.
Bitcoin's not going to zero. No, but Hex might be.
No,
that's the problem.
it's not.
That's what. That's the
Hey
issue.
guys, I very extremely do not think it's going to zero. So
You're the founder of the thing, so that doesn't surprise me.
I'm going to tell you a quick story, right? I'm going to give you a quick hypothetical. Ready? Let's pretend you launched a coin and you raised money, right? And then you put that money into Ethereum, and then Ethereum went up 40x, and then you dumped that shit, right? And then you had like a fucking stack of cash, right? I bet like if you reinvested in your original coin, you could have actually net put more into that coin than you took out. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
No? You don't get it? Okay. Well, I can't say it any more clear. If you dog shit in crypto has been around for a very long time and done very well, and then your brain wouldn't let you think that that can happen.
Bitcoin's not going to zero. No, but Hex might be. That's the problem. That's what.
Okay.
That's.
So yeah, you know, there was like people talking about it. Like, I think Eric understood. I think he did. Maybe not. I don't know. You guys can tell me. I think it was pretty clear what they were talking about. And I think that Eric was being very dry with him in the way like you've got tons of assumptions in the story, which is what I would think. Like if somebody came to me with that as their financial plan, I'd be like, okay, if any of those things worked out, yes, you could do that. But the fact that now you verbalized it, from my experience, tells me I would rethink and have a backup plan.
Guaranteed 40x on ETH. Not that it couldn't happen, right?
Yeah.
But like, he doesn't need a 40x on ETH. Like if there was a 2x on ETH from the current point, he would the sack bags would be $1 billion based on last known quantities.
Yeah.
So like, and $1 billion, if he kind of indicated there that he would dump that shit and use it to pump his chain, like if he put $1 billion in, it would be happy moon time.
It would, and but the only problem is, it may not do it. They could range it. They could keep sending it up, bringing it down, sending it up, bringing it down, and they could also send this timeline to like where like it breaks out, but maybe it happens a lot later than you think. Or like I said, you should be ready for what if, because they have the amount of money they have, that they move alts first, BTC and alts, and they keep ETH down, throwing all these crypto people off who are waiting. And then ETH maybe goes at the very end, but alts are now collapsing by then or something. Like, who fucking knows? You have to be ready for really outside the box thinking. That's why we had a high before the halving. That should have been the light in everyone's brain that, hey man, you need to think differently about stuff. And it could get really weird how they move stuff. Maybe stuff doesn't even make sense. Maybe random layer ones start moving. Maybe it's not even all together at one time. Like, who knows how they do it, man? And they have the money they have the capital to start to do these things. Right now, I think all-time high on ETH by summer, and it would be great if we ran right now. Right, like I'm for it. You can see my drawings. This is technical in the sense like if this moved, this would be very correct. But we've had these moments many times. Like we were about to move back in the Christmas right here of 2024, and we had a break with volume. And I said, this is not good. None of this is good right here. I was like, this is bad, and we've been down. It's like just because it shows they could bring it back into this range. And this whole thing, by the way, is like a flag or pennant. Like I don't see it as like bad, but they could keep it in here. Like, see this support down here? Let me get rid of this. This line, this is support down here. It could come. They could bring it back down to $1,600, $1,700, and we're still bullish in the sense that it's still in an uptrend, if that makes sense. Like this is like a big range right here. You know, if I were to like draw it out, like you know, like I could be like, cool. You know, bam. And I could be like, okay, this is a big flag. I'm just like showing you really quick. Yeah, it could absolutely just stay in here. We don't know when it's going to pop. So we want to be ready for it. When it does pop, it could be glorious. It's going to be unbelievable. But when, right? We don't know. So I hope that everybody's not just looking to ETH for PulseChain to run. Like, I hope to God not. I hope there's more to this strategy than this. And if it all works out, like perfectly, great, man. Great, right? PDI pegs, ETH pumps right on time and rotate comfortably. Everybody rotates ETH into their altcoins. Great, man. Hey, I love it, right?
Yep.
That would be a blessing if it got handed, right? It's all, Ink gets it. This is all institutional.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. Everything just worked perfectly. In markets, it's rarely this clean. I think the early crypto people got very lucky in the sense it was just like pure emotion driven and all the charts were very clean and go up, down, up, down. And he's Ink 4TC gets it. This is very institutional pattern, which is what I'm telling you. You know, they're going to make money like you've never seen as this goes up and down before it pops. They're in no rush for this to 3x. Like, you guys have to understand how they make their money, okay? This is all like, this is totally institutional right here. So look at metals, study metals. Go back, look at the gold chart, silver chart. You'll understand how long they can rain shit for, okay? They can suppress stuff for a long time because they have time and they'll make money as it goes up and down. You won't. The average person won't. They'll be destroyed. And they know this. So it depends what their plan is for ETH. Is what it is. You know, I think there's still enough funds for him to start buying PulseChain, starting a bull run. Other people will come join. It'll rally. It could take a year, go up and to the right, and then ETH finally moves, and then he rotates even more, and it does like the XRP did something similar. Let's go look at XRP, and this might be what plays out when I think of strategy. Okay, let's go back. This is the first run on XRP, and then we'll wrap up. So remember, we already analyzed this full. Wait, is this the one? Yeah. So this one where it went crazy, and okay. Yeah. So this was 4 years, right? 2013. Wait, this is a different XRP chart. What the fuck is this? Oh shit. Okay, it's that small, right? I couldn't even see it. So this is the 4 years. This is a PulseChain right now, right? So this is a PulseChain. It's 4 years right here, accumulating. And you know, we start a bull run. You know, whales come in, RH comes in, starts buying. Other people come in. You get this massive bull run, and you almost get a double top with the original. It goes just high, and then it collapses, and then it goes sideways for a year. This is a year, guys. 27. Is that in a year? How long is this? No. Oh, this is a few months. Okay, it's a few months. And then maybe ETH finally does its thing and more capital can rotate. And then it does this, right? Oh, no. So this is the first part. No. The move's not done. This was the year move right here. Okay. So you got this move and maybe you get this move and we go sideways. And then finally, you know, ETH does its thing. And then you get the big crazy pump, that 40x, whatever, right? But see, so there can be a lot of work that can be done on the Pulse chart before we're even worried about ETH. Like, it's not going to take that much to get this up to 3x SAC or 5x SAC. You don't need ETH yet. But maybe that big, massive move comes when ETH finally does do its thing, right? And that'll be the thing everyone will be waiting for. And then what's interesting about that too, that strategy, is that most people will sell on these, this peak here and this peak here. Most people will sell through here, and they won't know what's coming because everyone's going to be like, "Oh, ETH's never going to pump. ETH's never." And maybe the elites do hold off ETH to like very end or something. Because if Richard is thinking that, then a lot of people are thinking that in the sense like, "Oh, I'm just going to wait for my ETH to go up and then I'll rotate it into alts or something." He's not the only one. Why do I know he's not the only one? Because it happened 3 cycles before that everybody did the same thing. Okay, Bitcoin went up, they rotated to ETH, and ETH rotated. And because of BTC performance in 2021, a lot of people didn't hold BTC, and the elites knew this. A lot of people were just saying, fuck BTC, I'm just going to stay in ETH, and then rotates to alt when ETH goes. And because a lot of people were thinking like that, they're going to make that harder to happen, for sure, 100%. What's up, Zymus? How you doing? But you can see how XRP didn't happen in one big move. So once it went sideways for 4 years, and then so small that it's like, you got the first peak in April 2017. 2 months later, you get the other peak. Probably people thought this was the top. And then a year later, who would have not sold? Thinking, imagine you held for 4 years and you got this top here at 38 cents and you were holding for half a penny for fucking 4 fucking years. You would have sold here, man. You would have sold here fast.
Totally.
Like, I'm gonna, like, I would.
It felt good about it at the time, right?
Yeah. Well, look, you just got a, what was that? Is that an 80x? Is it 70x?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, even if you had sold down here, you got a 35x. Of course you would have sold, but a year later, look what it did, right? So these things work, and that's how they work like this. So maybe the ETH thing could work out where it doesn't work out for him in the beginning. So we got to pump it. It does like whatever, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x like this, maybe more. And then it goes sideways for a while. And people are still waiting on ETH. By then, a lot of people they're out, right? And 30x is fine. Like, be happy with that, right? But then,
better than a kick in the pants.
Yeah, and then the big move comes. So psychologically, you have to understand when you've been holding for 4 years and you get 10, 20, 30x, people are going to sell, and it makes sense. But I think that's going to be more of a blessing than if we get the ETH move and he just cleanly rotates, because then it'll just move hard and people won't sell early. What was great about this is so many people sold here. So many people got out. Of course. And then it does this fucking insane move. And I think Pulse needs something like that too, where ETH don't move, but it pumps because whales jump in, Richard steps in, we start the bull run, people are buying, we do some good X's, and then it starts falling apart. And of course, everybody who was here at fucking wherever we are now is going to have nightmares. You are going to go to bed shaking. I promise you. You're going to be sitting, just like XRP, at this peak, at a 40x or whatever, somewhere in this range, 50x, and you are going to shake at night, and you're going to go, what do? I do not want it to come back down to whatever here. Okay, what if that happened? You're going to sell, man. You're going to sell something, okay? And then a lot of people sell. More time goes by. With XRP, this was 1 year through here, bro. 1 year. People that held for 4 years, dude, they were like, fuck this, man. I'm out, man. Like, I'm not going to risk. What if it goes down again? You're going to sell. And then what would the blessing would be is then maybe ETH moves and he does that rotation after all those people sold. And they got to come back racing in, because now it goes on an even more epic run. So there could be a blessing in disguise too, right, for things playing out weird. It could actually work psychologically, make this much tougher, which is kind of good in the long run, right? ETH seems to be like one of the retirement asset portfolio. The way you're explaining ETH seems like, I don't want it. What do you mean you're not sober? Booze with soda, still booze. What are you guys talking about, bro? You sober? Are you talking to me? What's up with the new sacrifice?
You're sober enough.
I'm sober enough. I used to chart drunk as fuck on wine, and my shit was nailing it. I think I drew this on half a bottle of wine, so please, it relaxes me. All right, and I've only had half a shot of tequila, half a shot, not even a full fucking shot. I wonder what evaluation market cap wise we could get to maybe 100 billion in the mania. That's 1,000x from today. Well, I think I talked about a penny PulseChain, man. They're gonna print a lot, bro. That's why you see. Look, XRP did this in 2018. Okay, I was coming back to the chart and I forgot that the whole chart was over here. You can't even see it. Okay, it's so tiny. Okay, it's like a blip. And here it is. You can't see it, man. So just imagine PulseChain. It's gonna be like this, bro. You won't be able to find it. I'll be scrolling like, where is it? It's just gonna be here. That means the chart's gonna be up here. So we might get to a penny's doable, dude. Look at that.
Penny would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, or fuck it, 1/10 of a cent.
$1 would be better, but I'll take a penny to start.
Would be better. Yeah, I mean we could do more. How long have we been streaming for? 3 hours. Okay. This was awesome. This is an awesome stream. I hope you guys learned a lot. So strategy was a lot of what we talked about here. I think it's important people forget that. Things don't have to play out in the order they're going to play out. It doesn't mean ETH's not going to go. It's just like you don't know when. And you always want to think about that going forward, because they had high before the halving, so these people are changing the game up to make it harder. Okay, so let's be aware of that, and have fun, man. You guys have been holding long enough. Like I said, in terms of PulseChain, you don't want to be selling here. It's sketchy. You want to try to hold it if you can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You won't be able to even see the chart. It'll be so crazy. It'll be so big. We're going to be up here. Okay.
Nice.
What else? Fast. Is that it?
I think we covered all the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Yeah. Chat. We didn't even hit 100 likes. Smash the like button out there. Twitterland, smash the like button. Of course, all the links are at the top and in the description. But when we do get bullish, I'm going to post alpha on Instagram first. Why? because people who don't listen to the show don't know about my Instagram. Because if you've noticed, if I ever post it on X or anywhere, Telegram, I delete it within a couple days. So there's nothing there. No one can go in there and find me unless you heard it on the show. So it's Mr. St. Wolf on Instagram. So I'm always going to post there first, and then 6 hours later or the next morning post on Twitter, Telegram, and then the Twitter, or both. Actually both, because the people that find me on Twitter, they're on both, so it doesn't even matter, right? And there's a lot of looky-loos, right, who are just kind of stalking for the alpha. So the fairest way is to do it on Mr. St. Wolf on Instagram, because only you guys that listen to the stream know about that link. So go to Mr. St. Wolf on Instagram. That's where we're going to put the alpha first. Oh, the Russia pic with the snow is fake? He called me a LARP. What's a LARP?
Live action role playing.
I'm a live action role player. He says, where are you located?
Good time.
Is that a compliment to get called a LARP?
It depends what circles you travel in, I guess.
Well, I don't travel in those circles, so I don't know. What do you mean you are not? Booze with soda. Oh. Bro, you sober? He calls himself the greatest. He wants to know where I live. Don't tell him. We're not going to tell you, Ron.
Oh.
Where are you located? I've had my silver since the 90s. See, look, Joe says I've had my silver since the 90s. Look, man, silver was institutionally held. I don't think they're going to hold ETH that long, but yeah, I mean, like, they can hold shit for a long time. You said the 90s? You had some bull runs since then, man. Silver got up to $50 in 2011. This is amazing on silver, man. This is crazy.
$103 right now.
Ink Fortescue, thank you so much, man. He said it's a great stream. If you seek to master trolldom, being called a LARP goes with the territory.
Yeah.
I think silver could go higher, you know, and oh, there was a post Richard was like gloating about, like, I didn't call the top on gold. It's like, what? Is that what he was saying?
It's still going up. Well, he was boasting about not saying the top's in on gold, right? Or saying that the top's not in yet.
Why would you boast about that, though?
Right?
Why would you boast about that?
Yeah, I think he should just make videos. His written word is not his strong suit.
Hey, guys.
He's good at making videos.
I did not call the top on. I did not tell you that the top was in on the video yet. No, I don't know. How do I think compare that? Because other people were calling the top. Other people were calling the top. Other people were calling the bottom on PulseChain. I'm the only one who didn't call the bottom on PulseChain. Is that the best example of that comparison?
Similar.
Dude, my target.
Very, very ambiguous. You almost can't lose.
Yeah. Silver can go higher. I think it could, man. I think I ran a fib, and I think I got like 150-ish. Don't fucking think you couldn't do it, man. You could do it, bro. You could do it. Because you also have to give retail a 2 to 3x. Okay, let me tell you. So when was retail jumping in? When the lines in the fall? Was that about $50?
Yeah, I think they're mostly jumping in gold at that time.
Was it gold? Okay. So 100. So we're in that range. So 100 to 150, you could expect a top. So maybe it goes a little higher. You know, maybe it does. Because psychologically it works. Because if you sell right into retail, when you see retail coming like that, like when the bull run was happening, we still had a double top. Alt still went crazy. So it still gave grandma a chance to 2x her money. The problem is no one was going to sell crypto on a 2 or 3x, right? So maybe when was retail coming into gold? You have to allow them a chance, but they won't sell. They came in about here. July. No. Is it summer? They came in about $4,000. Okay, so yeah, so now you've given them a chance to sell, but they won't, right? They want more. You had to be buying down here like 2K, 3K. My targets were smashed, right? I had 4K and 3,700. I charted this back in 2022, so those got hit, and now we're still going. I'm gonna really quick pull my fibs. Has anybody pulled fibs?
Yeah, that would have been the other crystal ball move. Would have been buying gold and silver.
Right. You're at the 4618, bro. on gold.
What does that tell us?
It's could be a place that things top out. The only way to really do it is look what it's done before, and sometimes assets will repeat something similar. So if we come back here, for example, let's just do it here back in, what is this, 1980? 1978? Is that the line? Okay, with the wick.
Well, that's a lot of data.
So look, man, fibs are a real thing, bro. Look where it went. 2618. Okay. 2618, right there. Bam. So I'm gonna run a fib again off because it did a marginal low. It really did. They didn't let it come down. I mean, these are heavily controlled, right? So when I run this, here's a 2618. Okay, and you did stop there. You You see? And a lot of people probably sold, knowing that it topped at a 2618 in 1980. All right, and it did stop here for a long time. So this was a rational place. You might have sold or taken a lot of profits. Okay, but it's now going, and you can see one of my targets. My top target was about the 3618, and you've heard me. I make my targets eyeball. I don't use fib. So like you can see, this almost lined up. So my target was 41. It hit 41.88 was the 3618 fib. So I was pretty damn close, right, for my like top target. That's the last line I have. I didn't go past the 3618. So I knew it was going to go higher than that. And my top was around that 3618. But now we're approaching.
Reach the irrational zone now.
Yeah, we're hitting the 4618 now. Okay. And it may be about done. And silver could be topping out too if this gold. Maybe gold's done and then silver goes up a little bit. Susie repost. Thank you, Susie. I
think gold flows into silver a lot.
Yeah.
It's like gold's the in metals, gold's the low risk off one, and silver's the risk on one. Like.
Okay.
So we could see silver top after gold.
Yeah, and pulling fibs is fun. You got to use this with confluence with other things, but there is sometimes a lot of sense. As you can see, when we pulled it earlier, it hit the 2618 pretty clean. Not in the middle. It almost hit it right on. So these things do end up a lot of times playing out, especially when there's enough volume and human emotion involved. And maybe 4618, 5K, just above 5100. Maybe that ends up being the top, right? It just goes or it could be done now. I don't know. I wouldn't dare call it the top on any of these, but we could be close. Maybe silver is about getting there, because I think I pulled. We can do this one too. I already pulled it the other day, and I think it was a 2618. Fuck. Whatever. So yeah, you can see where it stopped, the 1618. See, right on the 1618, there was a lot of selling, right? A lot of people would have sold there thinking, okay, that might be done. And it's making its way here. That could be the top, right? 113, 115, 120, somewhere around there. Maybe it is the 2618. Like it was on gold in the 1980, it hit the 2618, right? Right on the nose. So maybe this pushes up slightly more and we hit this target. 150 is the 3618. That's up here. I mean, it would be amazing. We would need a little pullback, probably around the 2618, and maybe we make the push. Who knows? But it could be topping out. You got 10, 12, 13%. It's a pretty big move to hit the 2618. Maybe it replicates what gold did in the 1980s and stops there. How's everybody doing? What happened to my music? Oh, fucking ended. All right. Covered Atropa, we covered the hack, we talked about strategy and not assuming the cycles have to play out now going forward like they have before, because it's already been established this bull run that BTC hit the high before the halving. So you have to ask yourself, what other surprises could you have in terms of strategy, and how assets are going to move versus how they moved before. So keep an open mind. That's it, man. We'll come back here, I don't know, tomorrow or a couple days. What do you think, Fast?
Yeah, we'll wait for the next... there'll be some sort of drama to talk about in 1 or 2 days, I'm sure. Call my hacking team.
Yeah.
We'll get some news for you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're here for that.
No problem.
This guy's been holding silver since the 90s. We're gonna have these like in like 10 years. There'll be somebody who like, I've been holding my ETH since zombie apocalypse. They said ETH was going to 20K. It's still at like $2,500. Peace to the Saints. Full fast. What's up, guys? Oh man, you guys are awesome. I'll wrap us up with some wings. It's been a long stream. Yeah. Start wrapping this up. You guys are awesome. Once again, when we get really bullish, Alpha's going to be at Mr. St. Wolf on Instagram. And then the public links are above. I don't write the Instagram, so head over there, man.
I got a bone to pick like roses. I ain't feeling broken no more. Bought a fish, they gossiping, I noticed. Talking shit, I wonder through the motives. Wonder who the fuck I'm supposed to be. I ain't worried now until I leave. I'm just trying to ride and feel the breeze with something bad beside next to me. Wind in my face. Don't stop now when I feel so great. You can run till you slip on the sidewalk, and the same bone that you pick on break. That's a motif. Yeah. When it's coming right back, so familiar, never been realer, never felt so damn good where I'm at. I don't know what it's all about, running through too many thoughts to count. Still ain't adding up. I'll let you know when I had enough. I put some money on forever, but don't like to gamble on the weather, so I just watch. Well, the sun is shining, I can look at the horizon. The walls keep getting wider, I just hope I never find them, my Lord. Hey! Well,
what's up, man? Good to see everybody. Yeah. See you on the next one. Thank you for all the likes, for hanging out. All right, fast. Chat. Night, everybody.
Yeah, you bet. Talk to you soon, man.